just look on, and I'll look down, and all your fears around the ground. Then you said, all I ever wanted was to love like this. All I ever needed was to feel like something more than a closed door flat on the floor. I can offer so much more. All I ever wanted was to feel at ease. All I ever needed was to get up off my feet. 'Cause I believe in love. Hold on just a little. We'll meet right here in the middle ground is where we'll stand. Let go of the brittle, 'cause you'll find life is a riddle that we're not meant to understand. Oh, you said
Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me. And we can run from here, and we can disappear, and they won't find us where we are going, dear. So baby, hold on to me, 'cause I know I can make you believe something that only we can see. Oh, so baby, hold on to me, hold on to me. Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me. And we can run from here, and we can disappear, and they won't find us where we are going, dear. So baby, hold on to me, 'cause I know I can make you believe something that only we can see. Oh, so baby, hold on to me, hold on to me.
Here we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out, 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 I can help you out. Here we go again. Time is up and I'm calling up my friends. Ain't no wonder why, ain't no one to ride to. Here we go again. Call me up and you wanna be my friend. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can Look, if you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 I can help you out.
And I've been chillin', watching the ocean with you. Baby, up with a slow motion crew. And we up in our cloudlands when people change, but not us. And we just chillin', kicking it, kissed by the sun. Could be soaked to the skin in the monsoon. I know she got the good vibes when seasons change, but we're the same. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding. And I'll be running, possessed by a low, low voodoo. Fired up like a wolf on the full moon. And we stuck in a la la land. The tides will turn without us. And I'll be killing time like I might be a cartoon. Take it in real life like haiku. I know we got the good vibes when pieces fall right into place. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Play me like a bass guitar, simmer down and mess me up. Tripping like I'm Jimmy at Woodstock. Drive me around in your red Ford, shivers down my spinal cord. Oh, 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 oh. 'Cause you got me holding, holding. Even if I lost all my money, the zero runs deep, honey. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Even if my jokes aren't funny, my tongue tied up on it. And I don't need to speak a single word, 'cause you got me holding, holding. Hold on.
I'm alone, I'm a broken home. I gave you all the bricks that I own and know. I'm letting go, I'm breaking these walls down, breaking these walls down. If you want adventure, then fly to home. But if you wanna travel, then go alone. Yeah, what's the point in us if I never know? Yeah, if you're gonna leave, I'ma let you go. I'm tired of the pain. Go I fell where my demons dwell. My own little nightmare, I call it hell. Oh well, it's time to get back up. Climbing and climbing, I'm done with this ride, is what I tell myself, so I could feel something else. Yeah, I guess I had my bad days, but it doesn't mean I lost my style. Darling, where were you when my heart was on the ground? I thought time would prove that you would stick around. I guess time stood still, a king without his crown. Now I'm breaking and you're faking, girl. You never made a sound. I'm tired of the pain. Go away. I'm tired of yesterday.
And welcome back to the World League Esports. And today we're going to have an absolutely amazing game between Dark Esports and Omnius Gaming. As always, I'm joined by my man Luda. How are you doing, bro?
I am fantastic. Super keen that now that we've gotten into our BO3 stage of the tournament, I think we've got a really good matchup coming out. And I'm super excited to get straight into this one. What do you think of our maps that we've got?
I actually can't remember what the maps are. I'm gonna have to be completely honest. Clubhouse is first. That's at least I can see that one.
And Oregon.
Yo, I did the player stats. You did the map stats.
Facts. I did do map stats. Yeah, so we've got Oregon, or we've got Clubhouse coming up first. Tends to be a very strategic map, but I do feel like it comes down to gunfights in the end generally because of how default it plays out most of the time. Theme Park following that, which is going to be very interesting. Obviously, Theme Park now moving out of the comp rotation. In comes Chalet, but we will have a nice send-off for Theme Park. And lastly, Oregon, Gunfight Central, if I'm honest.
Yeah, and if it's going to be Gunfight Central, one player I have to look out for, and I've been keeping track of these stats. Can't actually remember how many games this was over, but Kaiko is currently sitting at a 16 KD. That is unheard of.
Jeez.
I mean, it's just unheard of. Sure, he plays Jaeger and Iana. Sure, the operators he plays are centered towards killing, but he is killing. He is fulfilling in his job, and he's been carrying OG quite a far away. So I'm really excited to see whether that is going to be the play once again. If he's going to just outshine even Dr. Dropshot on his team. I mean, the team is literally a team of fraggers picked up from Titan Gaming basically, and they were made for fragging so that all of them can step up to the play. And so far, it's been Kaiko just absolutely outshining. So I'm excited for that one.
Not as excited as you'd be if you won a mousepad and a shirt from World League Esports. They have a pinned tweet. Go comment on World League Esports' tweet. Tell us who you think is going to win the tournament, and you can be entered into a giveaway. There are more giveaways to come out soon. But if you guess correctly, you will be entered in, and a chance to win the World League Esports mousepad and shirt. I think we have the lobby ready, and we're just ready to go. I'm so keen to get into this BO3. It is Dark Esports versus Omnius Gaming. Let's jump right into our ban phase.
Yeah, and I don't know, man. It feels like Clubhouse each and every single time. I don't even have to commentate over the ban phase. It's going to be Thatcher, either Maverick or some utility op, Mirror, and the last one, I guess, could be commentated over. But yeah, I guess Cade.
Cade ban.
I mean, it just feels like people aren't experimenting anymore. I remember when bans just...
I totally agree.
When the bans came out, it was really like anything could get banned, and you had counter-stratting, and now you just have Thatcher.
A Thatcher ban, amazing. I've been playing a lot of EU ranked.
Oh, same.
And it's literally been Thatcher, Cade, Malusi, and Jackal banned every single time. And I'm just like, can we get some can we get some variability, something to switch it up, you know? Even though my bans are coming out yesterday, and that makes it a little more interesting, just because you assume that there's going to be more throwables, burning through those single fire ADSs, and then obviously can do the damage that they need to do. The first defender ban to come out from Omnius Gaming is, of course, going to be a Cade, and I am not surprised whatsoever. Yeah, this ban phase is... I probably could have told you this yesterday, to be honest. Just if I knew the map, I could have told you this is exactly what's going to happen. You said you're going to play around with the last one, or you said it's going to be a Mirror?
I said Mirror. There's almost no question in my head. It's OG. They're going to ban the Mirror. None of their players main Mirror, as far as I can tell. Nah. Oh, okay.
What?
Mirror's in play. Okay, Clash.
So Pancake's not playing?
Yeah, the weird thing, though, is I don't think anyone on Dark Esports really plays the Clash. So maybe it's just a comfort pick. Maybe they're anticipating 1 or 2 rounds the Clash is going to come out. But especially on a map like Clubhouse, where it's so hard breach-centric, where once the breach gets opened, the second phase of the round really begins and pushing onto the site. And I guess you could make the argument that the Clash is kind of similar to the Mirror in that way, where delays a push. But still, you kind of want to rely on that Mirror, because think about Cash, CCTV, once that wall is opened, you only really have Cash to play in. With the Mirror, you can't really extend as much into CCTV with a Clash, even if you have Crossfire. So I don't know if the Clash is... it could be useful, not going to be useful here because it's banned. But I don't know, man. I really think banning out the Mirrors would have been the play, but they're not playing it. So I guess easy does it.
Yeah, we'll have to see how it goes. I'm sure she'll get her time to shine later on in this game. Quite interesting. We saw a 6-pick there from a Yana onto a Maverick now. Thatcher is banned, so I would expect Maverick to be running in any case, but I do like the fact that Yana has moved more into the current meta for the game. She's often being replaced, or Ash is often being replaced by the Mirror just because she runs nades. She acts as that drone as well, and you can still bring the sledge for that soft breach type of thing. Also now with the Gone 6 in the game, if you decide to pick one of those niche operators, you don't have to run the Ash for those breaching rounds to get rid of those bulletproofs. You can just run that new secondary, and it is super effective that I've seen thus far. But we haven't seen it too much in comp just yet. I'd like to see it a bit more. I'd like to see those niche picks. Valkyrie camera goes out from Sandals as our round begins. And my goodness, Dr. Dropshot opens things out. And Dark.
Wow, okay, so
Kaiko?
that's actually very telling of what's going to be happening in this game, because I said Kaiko is the one to look out for. No, it's Dr. Dropshot back in his prime. What does Dr. Dropshot do? Well, he gets spawn peaks and he gets those kills. It's onto the sledge, some utility off of the board now. And, well, suddenly the entire playing field already looks different. The bandit isn't on the board, so no tricking. They're just going to be able to open up this wall easy peasy, even just with the Hibana pellets. They don't need the Mavericks blowtorch. Claymore is going to come out on Garage just to deny a run out, just to deny Dropshot even more presence. They're using the Hibana pellets to open up the top right side of the Garage wall. I think that's called panel 2. I don't know what the official call out is for that, but it allows an angle into the top of the catwalk, and I believe there's a player playing there. So let's see if they can make this push happen. The wall is starting to get opened because the bandits are actually pre-placed, but look at Ergo, he finds 2! Ivar and Zeno to fall.
There was a Claymore.
There was a Claymore.
There was a Claymore. And he was like, nah, I'm going to peek out anyway. And he gets those 2 kills. Obviously, it is a 4 versus 2 now. We have Ergo going for another run out, testing his luck here, but will be shut down by Naka. That is on the Hibana Type 89 in hand. And he'll get one more. That's Sandals as OG looks to get aggressive. They're getting absolutely shut down outside of the building. I think Wavy is aware of this player's position here. Inside of, is it inside of pool table? I think he's watching, yeah.
No, he didn't know. He was just anticipating. Oh, well, I mean, Naka already has opened up the playing field of this game wide open. I mean, that angle I talked about onto Catwalk, he's gotten 2 kills from that already. And only 1 onto site. If a collapse can come out right here, right now, they could easily take this bomb site, get the plant down, just lock out drop shot from this bomb site. But no, he's not going to let that happen through the wall. I don't know if they had a yellow ping or that was just intuition. He gets the kill. They're trying to translate it onto the bomb site. Already Dark Esports are in control of this game. The drone's coming out for this last phase of the round. They're just trying to isolate Cannibal on the bomb side. I do believe he has the M590 shotgun, so he can play these close quarter engagements, but also Stan is quite cracked with the SMG-11.
Oh, he's got the bug going from below. There's still 40 seconds. Enough time, and action from the C8, from the skeleton key, will enable Naka to push up, and typing 2.5 times gets the clean headshot just next to the bomb chassis, and will get the first round for the attackers. What a start to this game. If this is how the game is going to go the entire time, this is going to be an absolutely crazy match. Starting off, top 10 things to tell you in Rainbow Six Siege. Start scrim, get spawn peaked. Done.
I mean, that's the thing is they're going to have to get used to it, because that's just how OG plays. That's just how drop shot plays. Like, there's no way around it. He's going to spawn peak almost every single round. I can guarantee that already. And one thing I wanted to talk about is you talked about the Gon 6 being prevalent. Well, not as prevalent because people just aren't running it for some reason. I think it's going to have to be played this game because I did my homework. I don't know if OG didn't do their homework, because if they did, they would have established Alex is one of the best Goyo mains in South Africa. One of the only real players that's picking up the Goyo in recent times. I think when they head over to their defensive half, he is going to be a menace. And already, all of the players in Dark Esports are a menace. At this point in time, even on their attack, they're looking golden. These guys are working together as a team, as a unit. They're getting shut down in some instances from some of the hero plays coming out from OG. But across the board, really, this team is looking stable.
Hero plays are just straight up aggression. I feel like that's the name of the game for OG, definitely. As you saw them running around the map, just playing their lives out and playing for their gun skill, not necessarily for their strategy, mainly for their gun skill. Sandals has moved over from the Valkyrie onto the Malusi, so a little bit less intel to come out here, but a little bit more proximity information to be supplied, and then it's obviously going to come from that CCTV breach if they can get it open. There was no spawn peak this time, or no spawn peak hit as far as we know, but I would like to see them actually play Clubhouse the way that we normally see them get the breach and move forward, see where they can get those plants done. We have actually seen, I don't know if you've noticed, but we've seen an adaptation coming out from most of these teams. Instead of playing a rotate onto catwalk, they only play a line of sight with a reinforcement on the right-hand panel. So there's no easy rotation back into sight if you're not jumping through that window. And obviously we saw the Hibana be played, cutting off that jump in. So I'm not entirely certain how the strategy plays out later on in the round.
I think we saw Meraki pioneer this back in the day, where they used to just stack a dock on catwalk and leave him there for life or death. they don't want that player to rotate out. If your catwalk player rotates out, I don't know what he's doing, because your job is to stay there until you die. He doesn't need to rotate. So deny the attacking team once they take control of catwalk just that little bit of utility. They're gonna have to expend even more to get that one opened. And look at this knockout once again opening up this angle. Looks like they have the yellow ping on strip. Don't know if anyone is out there just yet.
No.
But as I know Dr. Dropshot, he's gonna make that happen.
He's not even at strip. He's actually at the main double. So there will be a sound cue if he does go for that, and I do think that will be his demise. But hopefully he's got a bit more to think about than that. Noctis now moves down with that L85 and he's going to get back on his drone. Just check blue, making sure no one's going to be ready for that. Oh my goodness, the timing on that. I believe it was drop shot again, going from that pool table window, trying to get a quick pick, but just that slap of the window will keep him in the forefront of these attackers' minds. He's living there rent-free as there's 1 minute left on the clock. Only Kaiko having taken damage thus far. I don't believe... Oh, the wall has been opened by the Zofia and the Maverick, but look at this. They're not even going for the wall. They're going to crouch walk through into the bottom garage, and Urgo's going to spot them. Here comes the nade. Will it be cooked? Will it be enough? There are discs lying around. Will not do anything whatsoever. So a bit of a wasted nade there. Buck still getting to work below. Urgo gets knocked off. And 35 seconds. Ivar gets one on Urgo, and that was the play on Catwalk. So garage is currently free real estate. But with 30 seconds left to go, who has the diffuser? It is the Hibana. Where on earth is she going to come from? She has to come from Catwalk.
Yeah, at this point in time, it's looking really hard to push on into this bomb site because you have the player on the box or on the table. Don't know what that call it is. He's holding the long angle over this, and they can't push on through this. He's spraying on through 3 players on the attacking side. They need to get this plant down. Dr. Dropshot finds one cannibal with the C4. Now he's trying to push on through Catwalk. He finds the first, but he can't find them all in time. It's Kaiko to lock it out. And OG are looking a lot more stable than the previous round.
Yeah, I think it was more calculated aggression. They knew when to play path, when to just go for their picks. As we saw in the first round, working a bit against them just because once people start going balls to the wall, the strategy kind of flies out the window. I think this time they kept that in mind, and they played the pacifisty. You saw Dr. Dropshot didn't go for that spawn peek, did not go for that pick through the pool window, even though he slapped it. And that was more than enough to do what needed to be done. He, like I said, he was living in their head rent-free. They were more than aware of where he was and where he could possibly rotate from. We saw Kevira. It will be 6 pick onto Malusi as Sandals tries to follow in Koza's footsteps and tries to play every operator under the sun. Now picking up the third operator that is different from previous. We will go to Church and Arsenal, so first time going downstairs, and I'm quite keen to see if there's any adaptations like we have seen on CCTV, but we'll just have to wait and see for that one.
Yeah, I just quickly want to highlight something you said there, Dr. Dropshot. Your analysis was that he's playing it slower. My analysis is that he's kind of getting shut down at this point in time.
Really? That's interesting. I thought he was playing a bit more passive, like not necessarily slow, but a little bit less aggressive.
The thing is, Naka has been shutting him down each and every single time. I think he is just single-handedly shutting him down each and every single round. He's my player to look out for because it seems like each and every single time he has the presence of mind to just keep looking at those doorways because he knows Dr. Dropshot is going to do what he does, and he's going to do it once again if the observer can quickly pan to him. He's currently in strip and is already doing damage to Ivar. That is what he does. That is why you need to attend to him. I talk about a sense of paranoia when you're playing against him, but paranoia insinuates that it's uncredited, that it's not okay. There we go. That's what I'm saying. They are shutting him down. He plays a bullet hole on a barricade and they just kill him. Naka to fall. So I guess even when Dr. Dropshot dies, well, Sandals can still pick it up.
Xeno's spidey senses were tingling there, and that cheeky little pre-fire netted him a big fish in this lobby, and Dark Esports can be happy that Dr. Dropshot is now off of the table. 3 versus 4 in favor of the attackers. More than enough time to play with. There's still 2 minutes left on the round. You can see them still droning for the nuclear, but looking to go for the kitchen hatch as soon as possible. Still having some defenders downstairs. We got one lying prone inside of dirt. And can Ivar get this? He's going to open up a hole, potentially just crouch walk through, but I think there were a couple of pre-fired bullets there from the mute lying down. Is it the mute? No, it's the rook. Grenade being cooked. Oh my goodness, the timing. He hits him with the Pokeball. He pre-fires with no sidelines whatsoever, but he will net the kill. Kaiko on the insta refrag from those mates' window. He's going to look to rotate quickly, but Not before Noctis can
What
get
is he
sandals. Kaiko
doing?
gets one more onto Wavy. And all of a sudden we're in a 2v1. Kaiko, 60 HP, trying to rotate through the bathroom. But the defenders do, or the attackers rather, do have side control. The diffuser needs to go down ASAP. And Kaiko's now going to move through to jungle and decide, does he go oil pit or does he go blue?
This is the player to look out for. He came into this game with the 16 KD and it's looking to buff it even more. He finds damage onto Noctos? I don't know. Well, the plant's down, so it's in a retake situation. He has the K1A, definitely a capable gun, but he's gonna need to find these kills. He's got a triple. He's spraying through the wall. He almost finds the sledge. He's on so low HP. Make that both of them as he sprays on through the wall with the L85. He might just be able to go for this ninja defuse. Pros don't fake. Is Noctos gonna know about this? He has to find the angle, but the nade comes through. He finds the kill. The quad coming out from Kaiko. He wins the round for them. And I told you before this game even started, drop shot is good, but he's getting shut down at the moment. But Kaiko is filling those shoes.
21 and 2?
21
Total?
and 2? Yeah.
Sheesh. Man is out here. He's doing the most for OG. What a clutch coming out from the Vigil. I cannot believe that he managed to get... I actually thought he got the down initially through the soft church from Generator. But then I saw that the sledge was still up. And then the nade came through. He manages to dodge that. Pre-fires perfectly to find the sledge. And manages to clutch that one up. More than enough time on the clock for the diffuser. And puts OG in the driver's seat.
Thing about Kaiko is he's not just good at making the 1v1s happen, because that's what happened in the last phases of the round. He took the 1v1s, he won them because, well, he's cracked. But also, the teamwork on Omnius Gaming is incredible at the moment, because we saw, I believe it was the Maverick on Dirt Tunnel, he chucked out the nade, and it forced the Rook into a position where he couldn't run back because the nade's timer was just too long. So he had to find the engagement, and it went the way of the Maverick. But Kaiko was just ready for it. He swung through, what's that, jacuzzi wall. He got the kill. It's not like he's just in a lucky position. He makes these positions happen. You saw that on the Thermite. He had the perfect angle onto him. It's almost like he's reading them, and I love to see it.
I want to know what size magnifying glass he's got over his monitor for him to get that.
Have you seen that video
kill.
from Basically Homeless where he just put a magnifying glass on his monitor?
Literally, he's made his own ACOG. Like, it was... I don't know who it was, but there was an actual pixel, and he was just like, oh, look, the reticle of my reflex is touching your forehead. Dead. And that was that. What a great shot there to round that off from Kaiko. Putting OG again in the driver's seat, as I said. Now, secondary drone phase. Noctis very wary of where he pushes up. He's going to look at all these doors and windows, waiting, patiently waiting for somebody to possibly fire a bullet hole shot at him. But no, he's going to eventually make it up to the wall. And that means he can get up to the roof. So first things first, that's not for him. He's made it up. He's likely going to get to the soft breach on top. And I'm assuming they're going to go for a top-down clear. It is gym and bedroom, of course, so they don't have too far to go. And let's have a look at where the soft breach will be employed.
I mean, I wanted to talk about this earlier. You saw the sledge doing his due diligence, and it's almost like a sense of paranoia has been instilled in these players. The thing about paranoia, though, is it insinuates that your fear is unjustified. In this situation, it's completely justified, because when you're sitting down the barrel of Kaiko and Dr. Dropshot, you need to check those angles, man. The fear, the sense of fear in these players is completely justified, and that's single-handedly because of the aggression on Omnius Gaming. And it's going to keep going. You see these players on the windows, they're going to gym and bedroom because of how site rotation in Siege works. If you don't know, can't go back to a bomb site after if you wanted 2 times, but oh man, Noctos almost collecting that kill, reading into it that the wall hadn't been reinforced. They need to reinforce it at some point, might as well pre-fire it. He almost finds the kill, but no. Omnius Gaming, they might slack a bit on that one, but eventually they're going to come out up in front once again, and Urko just keeps it rolling.
I thought that this wall was butchered, but the Maverick makes the best of a bad situation, and you can hear the soft breach going in as the wall has been Maverick tricked quite nicely done there. Here comes the breaching round, I think. Waiting patiently. Wavy. And yeah, there we go. Wall open. I find it questionable that it was Hibana that was speaking, that she has the diffuser in hand, but obviously trusting the gun skill of Naka to rain through here. We do have Wavy now going below, and he's probably going to try and crouch walk up those main stairs. I've seen this many times again. I've been burnt by it many times, and it is not a fantastic place to be. Ooh, there's a shield, and you know who could have helped with that shield was the Ash had she stayed up. So A drone potentially wasted could have helped get that intel. Maybe Sledge still has nades. They could do that. But as I say it, Noctis gets deleted by Dr. Dropshot. Nades in pocket. Those are 2 gone. Xeno has dropped Logi though. And he's looking directly into the bomb site, looking for any sort of pick. Pre-fires through behind the bed, but there's no one to be found. Dr. Dropshot does get down though, and Ergo picks up the kill onto Wavy. Pre-fire comes on the main stairs. Hibana gets down, and in a flawless fashion, OG will take this round.
I really want to talk about the Maverick there in logistics as an anecdote for their entire team. Oh, my voice just cracked. I know chat is gonna roast me. Come on, man. I gotta acknowledge it myself. Otherwise, you're gonna acknowledge it for me. So, but Noctis there, I believe it was Noctis in logistics as the Maverick. He was in a situation where his teammates just kept dying. I mean, there's no way around it. But the thing about OG is, not only are they putting up aggression and getting kills in other places, but they're still able to have the sense of passive control over the rest of the players, even if they're not 1v1ing them at that point in time. Because Maverick, he was kind of safe. I mean, he wasn't getting challenged. Sure, there was a player inside of construction and one on the main stairs, but he wasn't getting actively challenged. But still, he was in a position where he couldn't really do anything. And add on top of that, his teammates, they were getting challenged and they would just get dying. I mean, what can you do in that situation? Basically nothing. I want to see them bring it back to their first round play style, where they got the momentum early on, where they kind of shut down OG early on and they just snowballed off of that. Because I really think that's the only chance they have.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, he's not even scared of revealing it to the drones. He's just opening up the barricade already.
Frankly, I'd be terrified. But you know what I'm as terrified of? Wavy has picked up the knock. Now, if anybody knows or has read the patch notes, knock was so massively buffed by Ubisoft. She now negates all sort of proximity-based gadgets. She can walk past Banshee. She can walk past. She can. Oh no! Sorry, I'm just gonna pause where I was there.
So if you're in gold ranks and you play EU solo queue, that's one to pick up for you.
Absolutely. So you can see Ella's running around here. She's putting out her Grismots. I mean, pretty low skill needed there to play the Ella effectively. But this Nook pick, oh my goodness, she can walk past anything and you'll never know. And I think that is absolutely incredible.
No,
he sees you. He sees you.
No, man.
Oh.
Man.
Pepperoni.
Sandals, he wins those. And Ergo, he swings something he shouldn't, and he is able to find one off of it. Wavy shuts him down, sure. But they've lost the Gridlock and the Maverick. Sure, the Maverick, he's opened up the wall, but the Gridlock hadn't even thrown out her track stingers. At this point in time, Sandals just shuts down Wavy, and you can't really do anything more at this point. He's going to go for it again, and he gets shut down. That's Naka, the only real player I feel on Dark Esports who's been ready each and every single time for these runouts.
When do you learn your lesson? If you are, when does the aggression become too much? I mean, at this point, you're just throwing bodies at these attackers. This is,
I mean, it's working.
It's working, but it's it is working, but at what cost? Okay, like surely I expect the teams to play incredibly sweaty. Keep your bodies on site. You know, once you have that 4v2, everyone can just sit and hold an angle. There's nothing needed further. You can just chill. But no, OG are like, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna swing the garage door 3 times, and you know what I'm gonna do after that? I'm gonna run out again, just around the corner. Like, why? Just chill. the energy and aggression is just too much for me. Ooh.
Drop shot about the energy and the aggression and the drop shot.
Yeah, the Scorpion will pick that one up last alive. Noctis at least on 100 HP pockets. But with 50 seconds left on the clock and 3 players to find for Omnius Gaming, he's going to make a lot of noise with that sledgehammer. Going to push his way all the way into the bathroom. Has a look at construction. Knows the Dr. Dropshot was in there. The call-out would have likely come from his team. And now you can see, I believe, yeah, Scorpion up close and personal. 41 bullets. Is he behind the cabinet? No, he's not. He would have rotated back into sight. And what is the angle being held? There's a player coming up red. The pre-fire comes through. Will it connect? It will connect a little bit. And drop shot on about 15 HP. Now, 20 seconds left on the clock. The LE5A2 is going to have to do a lot of work here. Wait for the run out because that's exactly what OG have been doing. There's the swing from Cannibal. It's a bait and switch for them to take the final round. Well, not final round, but the final kill.
I mean, oh no. See, I almost feel the amount of secondhand embarrassment for him as I feel for myself for my voice crack. Help me, Luda. Chat is roasting me.
Oh no. It's only ever you. You know that. It's only ever you that gets roasted.
I mean, sure, Mr. Justin Bieber haircut.
Listen, fam. At least I don't look like Wraith from Apex.
Oh no. Okay, it's the last round for Omnius Gaming's defense, and Dark Esports, they have quite a bright future ahead of them for their defensive round, for the defensive half, because I've analyzed their play quite a bit, and they really have one of the most interesting playstyles on defense that I've seen in quite a while from South African teams. And sure, it's Clubhouse. I don't think I have seen them play on Clubhouse before, so maybe they're not as
You can do it. You can do it. You get there.
I can't. Just take over.
Oh no, as I attempt to rescue Kanye from drowning in his own words, we'll have a look at how Church Arsenal is set up for the final time of this defensive half for Omnius Gaming. Kaiko again on his Jaeger sandals once more, pepperoni gun in hand.
Ingenuity. I googled.
Ingenuity. It's a great word.
It is. If only I could remember it.
If only you can remember it. If you have a look at these, this defensive operator lineup, do you see an anchor on the board?
No, I see an SSG top floor roam strat, except they don't even have the mute or the castle, so I don't know what the tactical depth of this SSG top floor roam strat is. Maybe it's just I do a thinking nade and I get kills.
Thinking nade. What a fantastic player that guy is.
I love him. He used to be a meme between me and my close friend groups, just because of his hairstyle. But he's genuinely undoubted cracked. Even more cracked is Ergo on the Vigil, joined by Sandals on this roam. It's going to be really hard to drone these guys out, and it is a hard ask. He swings the angle. He tries to find one close, but he actually gets taken down to 1 HP. Surely he doesn't win these. He tries to find more. The C4 gets ripped. Okay, I was about to say, because that kill feed came about at the exact same time that the C4 did, but no, it's the Zofia to find the kill, and this is exactly what I talked about previously. Dark Esports, what they need to do, in my opinion, is snowball off of these early one-ups. I mean, each and every single time Omnius Gaming is going to spawn peek. If you know that, and you're able to shut them down, you're able to get the one-up each and every single time. If then you can snowball it, well, easy round win. No? They're opening up the hatch. They have an entryway onto the bomb site already. You see here the Havana. Naka, the one player that I really I gotta say, he's been playing incredibly on the hard support. They've shut down Cannibal. Sandals on 1 HP. This is their round to win.
Oh my god.
I cast a curse that.
When is too much? You were talking about the one up and winning those early one snowballing. The thing is, there's no early one.
It's the whole game.
Snowball. Yeah, but there's no early one to play off of if Sandals doesn't just stay inside a stock and continue to fight like 4 people.
He's getting droned out. He's getting flashed, and he somehow still escapes.
No.
At that, doing damage to the buck. The tango coming out from these players. He whips out the skeleton. He can't find it because the player's already fallen back. Xeno finds Ergo, but look at the shutdown coming out from Drop Shot. They didn't even know he's in bathroom. He finds one more. It's equalized out, and there's 3-on-3. Sandals is on a lick of HP. Even a breath of wind is going to kill him. So, for 40 seconds, you need to translate this into a site take. They've picked up the diffuser now. That's the first step, but still, Drop Shot. He's up top, and he's lingering like a phantom in the back of their heads. He drops the hatch, and he can't even find the player on a single HP. Wavy to fall. It's Nocto's left. He's on the bomb side. He doesn't have the diffuser from a crossfire. He gets the final kill, but it's Omnius Gaming to get the final say in the round.
Aish, that is a rough one if you are Dark Esports. I think things were lining up very well for them towards the end. I don't know. Okay, so we saw that there was a drone in blue. Okay, it was just outside the doorway. I'm assuming, because I feel like this is a valid assumption to make, most of the Mozzie pests are put at the bottom of the door frame to allow, or so that it doesn't allow the drone to roll through. So hypothetically, I'm thinking they could have jumped that drone into the site and figured out where the Mozzie was playing. Instead, they just hot dropped and ran through dirt, and Sandals was allowed to get a kill. Gets refragged, but at that point in time, there's not enough time to find a safe spot to get the diffuser down because you don't know where the rest of the anchors are. So I really feel like Dark Esports threw that one away. They will be moving now
Well-
on to their defensive half. Let's hope we see a bit more out of them now. They have time to set up their strats without losing people to spawn peaks early on. And yeah, I'm hoping to see a bit more from them on this split.
The thing is, they just took a page out of Omnius Gaming's book. They tried the aggression, and it didn't work out for them. So I hope they learned their lesson, and heading into their defensive half, they don't take a page out of, well, an entire chapter out of Omnius Gaming's book, and just copy their defensive half. Because if they do what OG did, I don't think they're going to succeed. I see their time to shine, their real power, in those slow rounds, where they just do their due diligence, and they just steamroll over the enemy team, kill after kill. I hope that's what we're going to see. That being said, you're barreling down OG. Droppy is on the Type 89, which he is historically just absolutely shown on. So, this is really the round to look out for, because it's 5-1. OG, they're one away from match point. At that point, they're one away from winning it out, putting us into the second map and just winning out the series. So, this is the round to look out for. If they can't turn things around now, then I really think Dark Esports are in the dark.
In the dark. I wasn't entirely certain what Dr. Dropshot was doing here. The way he was bobbing and weaving and trying to open up this
He's just an
garage.
ADHD player.
He couldn't even find his drone for a second. Urgo gets the first pick onto Eva, and Kaiko will also hit their courtesy of Wavy.
Oh.
Noctis gets one onto Urgo. All of a sudden, things are flying towards Dark Esports' side of the map. The grenade does get thrown in by Sandals, does not net anybody. Yana is about 80 HP, and Wavy with a very cheeky spawn peak of his own, but later on in the round, but does the job in any case. And all of a sudden, you're in a 4v2, and Dark Esports are looking fantastic in their first defensive round.
Yeah, and I said this is their round to shine, and they've shown. They've shown us that they can shine. This is incredible. It's a 4v2. Sure, they can still clutch this out. I wouldn't count out Cannibal and Dropshot by no means, but now you can count him out because he is quite literally dead. So, 4v1, Cannibal, nothing really you can do. We can start talking about the next round. I really think they can start...
goodness.
Okay, I guess I can't start talking about the next round because he gets an incredible kill, and... Wow. You might be able to find this. 1v3. They've done it in the past. Can they do it again? He's trying to find the bandit. He knows he's close in CCTV. He has the audio cue, I'm sure. Is he going to swing it out, though? There's a minute left on the clock, so time is in the defender's hands, but just as much it's in the attacker. In the Zofia, he doesn't have the diffuser, sure, but can still find these kills. No, it's the MP7 of Noctos. Just shut him down.
What a great response from Dark Esports there, asserting their dominance on this bomb site, on this split. And if this is how they're going to continue in this half, I definitely think we can see overtime, because that was an absolutely phenomenal round. Coming out, just shutting down those entry frags that were coming in through from OG and not giving them a chance in the end. They're leaving them in I think it was a 3v1, courtesy of a fantastic shot as well by Cannibal onto lower garage by the door frame. But let's have a look. We are going to Church and Oswald, and an Aruni is being played. I'm always interested to see where these gates get placed, because I want to see which avenues of movement the defenders are trying to not wanting to watch, because obviously when those serial gates are up, you have to throw a throwable or a drone or something of the sort through to deactivate them, but it means that nobody has to watch them for the time being until they go out. So I expect to see it maybe on the kitchen drop. Can you put it on dirt? I think you can.
You can, yeah. I mean, you
like
can
dirt
put
is
it
also
on.
incredibly viable.
You can put it on any wall or hatch that's breakable. So yeah, you can most definitely. That'd actually be really cool. I mean, sure, it expends 2 of them, but I really think that's worth it to put it on dirt. If you're
Mason
gonna
makes a lot
have
of sense.
play there.
Kitchen hatch, and then I would put the last one on dirt. I mean, blue's pretty rudimentary to hold. All you need there is let's have a look at the lineup. Oh, you actually don't have a Legion or a Melusi. If you decide to run the Legion or Melusi instead of the Vigil, you've got utility for generator and blue.
See,
So to give that sort of sound cue, and then you have the Arena gates to watch.
See, I'm actually kind of sad because they're not using the Goyo. I don't know if it was a map-specific strat, but previously they've been rocking the Goyo, and Alex is shown on it. He had a 2 KD over his past couple of games playing the Goyo. He's incredible on that operator, and I'm really kind of sad they're not bringing it, because OG, their lineup, they've kind of got the Ash, I guess, but they don't have Gon 6s. They don't really have a lot of soft reach. I really think picking up the Goyo here would be the play for them, but The play for OG is this aggression once again. Doesn't matter if it's on the defense or on the attack. They're going to keep it going. They've opened up stock hatch now, and the Jaeger down below in blue is scared. Though, there's still one up top. If they don't clear him out, he could pose to be really a big deal for them. Just as much as that barricade is for drop shot.
I was waiting for something like that, and yeah, he fires just enough bullets to not open up the barricade, but he manages to get through it eventually. Hatch already opened down into blue. The default cameras are dealt with by Sandals, playing this commando of the IQ. And now we have the upside down Hibana opening up the kitchen hatch. Drop shot takes a lot of damage, but will win the gunfight against Wavy. That is the Aruni off the board. And that is the problem when you run the pepperoni gun. That magazine flies like you wouldn't believe, and if you don't hit those shots, you're likely going to lose the gunfight. But again, if it's Dr. Dropshot behind the R4C, you're not going to win the gunfight in any case, as Eva falls. Naka gets one to Kaiko though, and that is the one of the top fraggers for OG. And as we flick over, we see Cannibal looking through this breach made into Church, and maybe not going for the default kitchen drop, instead wanting to plant Black Box in Church. Buck getting ready to do some more stuff destruction, open up a couple of angles, try and push these anchors out. Sandals gets the pick onto Zeno, and all of a sudden we are in a 4v2. And as I say that, Naka nearly loses his life, but you know who will lose their life? It will be Ergo, courtesy of Cannibal. Sandals gets one with the pistol, and last alive is Noctos on the Jaeger in a 1v3 with 1 minute left on the board. The drop shot comes out, but gets ripped through by the 416C. Still 2 more to find though, and they are actually low HP, but so is he. It's going to be risky taking this gunfight. Does a lot of damage to Dropshot. Does not fall though. And last, of course, but not least, will be Dr. Dropshot with that R4C in hand, doing the most damage that round.
As much as we've been pointing out and keeping OG's aggression as a talking point throughout this entire broadcast, I really got to say, it's a combination of aggression but calculatedness and really some in-depth strats, because these days you really don't see people going for a church breach and going for a black box plant. That's straight out of SI 2018 playbook. Literally. It's something old, and really, I like them bringing these older strats and these effective strats, but they're doing it in a way where they pair it with their aggression on the attacking side, and they open up stock hatch within, I speak corrected, but 20 seconds of the round. Then they just push kitchen, they get a kill or two, and from there on out, you just play your objective. The kills went out in a way where the utility operators were still on the board, and from there, they just wander around. Really, I like this play coming out from them, and I just got to bring it back to that. As much as the talking point has been OG's aggression, I got to give a +1 for them on their strat book.
No cap, I saw those guys lined up on the blue drop, and I had a I had a flashback to SSG Rush. I was thought? Yes, 5 men, all are on this hatch, and they're just gonna hot drop it and rush straight into side. I've done that, and it works like once out of probably every 20 times. But that one time is worth it. It's tip worthy. Yeah, so I was hopeful, but obviously not the case. They do manage to round it out and get that round. We're putting themselves on map point. Some bulk cams not going out from Wavy. And Dr. Dropshot, going to recall that drone, going to use it a bit later on. Make sure that no one is peeking him from his favorite spawn peek spot. He's going to pre-fire the garage wall as well. Because he obviously, as they spawn peeking, you know where those spawn peekers sit. So managing to put a bullet into all the usual locations. This drone has gone unseen in blue, but I feel like that audio should give the Jaeger away, or should give the drone away to the Jaeger. It does not seem to be the case though. Sandals has picked up the Twitch. And that man with the F2 in hand, I feel like is a very dangerous combination. Here we go, Twitch drone. Not dropping just yet down oil pits. No, he's going to play around with it. Hibana will be getting hatches though inside the bar. She will likely have gotten kitchen already. And Cannibal's going to get aggressive. And he gets aggressive on Wavy. Wavy hits the deck. The MPX is gone, but the Valcamps are still up to provide a little bit more information. So Valk going to go into that second afterlife. And wow, look at all the soft destruction that has been done on the kitchen floor already. And you know what's also going to do some soft destruction?
The C4. Yeah. And he finds one, and it's in a 4v4. A minute 50, and for the first time, it's really looking like OG have not been as quick. They're still kind of quick. They're not as quick in actually using their utility and getting some avenues onto the side. He spots the Jaeger. He can't control the F2's recall just yet. Can't thread the needle. It's still in the 4v4. Cannibal takes a tad bit of damage. But at this point in time, I really think Dark Esports, they've already succeeded in this first part of the round. As mundane as that sounds, just getting OG to not be on site within the first minute and a half, that's already a +1. So hopefully this can keep going their way. Smoke is in a precarious situation. He's by the vending machine. He might get caught out, but the ace here with the AK-74. But Zeno, he almost gets caught out, but that 2.0 scope. No, Dr. Dropshot, he collects the final one. It's in a 3v4, and well, maybe they succeed in keeping them out for a minute 30, and that was commendable, but it's not going to be 2 minutes. Double kill, make that a triple. OG, make that a game.
My goodness, that is the map to OG. Good half in chat. GG's. What a performance from OG. Probably went the way that we expected it to. I feel like everything was just a distraction for. Everyone was distracting an anchor for another frag. I feel like that's exactly what was going on. Fires coming all around, and then you would hear a noise there, but then everybody else was dead, and it was just a continuous moment of like, hey, look here, oh, you're dead. Hey, look here, oh no, you're awesome. And Cannibal coming in clutch, so is Sandals and Dr. Dropshot. What a phenomenal map by them. And I think if they can continue that through onto Theme Park, it'll be a little bit more difficult, especially because we see Theme Park to be very defender-sided. And do you think Dark Esports have a chance on that map?
No. I'm just be blunt, I don't think so. Because Omnius Gaming, throughout the group stages, they kind of slacked, to put it lightly. I mean, there were games where Dr. Dropshot, he's an incredible player, don't get me wrong, I've simped for him in the past, I'm just going to put it out there. He averaged a 0.75 KD. That's not normal for him. What is normal for him is what we saw here. 10, 9, 10, 6, 5 kills across the board for OG. All of them showing up, all of them carrying their own weight, all of them adding to the unity and the sense of teamwork, the camaraderie that is OG. It's incredible. It's like these guys, it's like that flow state you reach in your ranked games where you and the boys are just having fun, but also, wow, okay, 5 games later and we found ourselves in Plateau. What is this? I love that type of aggression and teamwork where it's you feel the momentum from an observer's perspective. You can see these OG guys, and I wish we had the comms for this. You can see them just having fun. Really, they are having fun. I have no doubt about that. The thing is, they're also kind of winning at the same time.
Yeah, definitely winning. And guys, we're going to throw it over to a intermission real quick. I think it's going to be a substitution made, but we will be back in about 5 to 10 minutes with our map 2. It will be Theme Park between Dark Esports and Omnius Gaming. OG currently up 1-0 in the series.
Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me, and we can run from here, and we can disappear, and they won't find us where we are going, dear. So baby, hold on to You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence, and the dark's all that I see. When your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You're the night sky hiding behind dark gray clouds. I can't figure you out now. I see all blue. There is so much cold in you, and the silence is so loud when you go. I just stay dancing with my shadow all day. Watch the time. I can't find the point where our two paths align. But you're the night sky. I'm trying to see your stars, but I've always feared the dark. Now I see violet. I can feel your silence. You always feel so far when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky.
You and I don't together like we can change the weather all these bills I can know I was really hoping why would you and I don't together like we can change the weather I'm as blue as the ocean, you're as blue as the open sky. All these bills I can know I was really hoping why would you and I don't together like we can change the weather tonight.
Hello, and welcome back to Game 2 of Dark Esports versus OG. We're going to theme park and quite a few talking points. I believe we're ready to head straight on into the game. We can use these as talking points for the ban phase because, well, we said previously, the ban phase, it doesn't really mean anything nowadays. Dark Esports. I stand corrected, and I'm going to correct myself from the previous time. I talked about them not bringing the Goyo for some reason because one of the players is not the Goyo main. It's because he wasn't even on the team.
Yeah,
the reason we had such a long intermission was because we had to swap out a player. I'm sorry. Now they have the player on their team that actually does play the Goyo. So OG, if you pick that up, oh man, I have respect for you. But on the flip side, yes, I think the Goyo is going to help out you. And yes, I think they're going to be able to tally up a few rounds. But OG, who are they? They're ex-Titan. Titan? Where were they really good on? Theme park.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this is 7-2. I'm sorry.
No faith.
Oh, no Thatcher bet? No Thatcher bet?
Thatcher bet? Ooh.
What?
How that would favor Dark Esports there. Oh no, I lie. It favors OG, which is even worse if you're Dark Esports, just because the walls are going to be opened up, guaranteed. At least if the Thatcher was not in play, you'd have some sort of delay for those attackers, but no, not to be the case. And the Cade still goes, which is quite interesting. I'm not sure why the Cade was still banned. If you do have the Thatcher, perhaps nobody on OG is going to play Thatcher. They're going to play with whatever they were going to previously, and the Valkyrie banned out. I like that, just because there's so many nooks and crannies you can hide these black eyes in.
Wait, whose ban was Valkyrie? Was that Dark or OG?
That would be Dark Esports because they're defending.
I really like that.
No, is it? No, it would be OG.
It's OG ban.
It would be OG ban, yeah, because they're attacking. So, man, I'm hella confused. No, I'm not no capping. The thing
I'll rewind stream when it comes up on my second monitor. I'll correct myself later.
It is a fantastic ban.
Alex is on Goyo. He's on Goyo.
He's got 6-pick it.
No, I can't. If he 6-pick this, bro, I'm leaving.
Moments before disaster. Screenshot here.
There we go. Narca takes it.
There you go. You got your
and
dream.
the mirror, the player we didn't see the entire previous game, even though it wasn't bad.
Vector buddies at it again. Bandit Jaeger and Wamai. So obviously coming in walls. Bandit that a little bit, even though there's a Thatcher likely to bring the Thatcher. Okay, Urgo is actually picking up the Thatcher. I would really hope he was going to, just because it is in play. We do sometimes see teams not bring the Thatcher even though it is in play, just because they've practiced so much without it. It doesn't make sense to bring it, but he's universally useful regardless of the site, regardless of the map. So glad to see that OG are making that adaptation.
Even if you're a team that isn't comfortable with Thatcher, even though he's a point-and-click operator, you kind of need him for a thrown defense. A thrown attack. Like, to get these walls open, you've got bandits, you've got Cades, you've got a lot to worry about. Sure, the Cades on play here, but still with throwable denial with the Jaeger and the Wamai. There's a lot of things on the board, and even more with the Goyo now on the board. And I really think OG, for the start at least, are going to struggle to deal with this. Sure, they've got Droppy, he's on the Ash, you've got Geico, he's got nades on the Sledge, yada yada. But I really think they're going to struggle to deal with this.
I like that soft mirror that's being played just behind the throne. They're playing a soft mirror into, is it main? I call it bumper cars. Is it what's called maintenance? I think it is. Yeah, there you go. That's the soft mirror. That's going to make it nearly impossible to jump in and take that with ease unless I don't.
He's on side.
Drop shot with the entry, and that is knocked us off the board. He does take about 25 25 HP damage rather, but that's the bandit dead. Bandit batteries are going to be dealt with, and the Twitch does not get the mirror window in the end. So one drone gone there. Does he have another in his arsenal? I don't know that he does. It doesn't look like it. And Sandals will just use the F2 instead. He's like, what do I need that for? Oh, okay. Great shot from Urgo. But that definitely should have been won by Evo. Pre-fire comes through onto the mirror window. Will not collect anything. Cannibal's going to move up onto the door, but Mirror's already primed and waiting. Sees the foot of the player inside, but he will vault upstairs onto the box. Or upstairs. Kaiko gets one more, and all of a sudden it's the mirror left alive. And what did you say?
What did I say? Ex-Titan players and theme park. No, name a more iconic duo. This is so one-sided. It's almost a joke. Come on, man. I'm just gonna mute myself.
I'll wait. No, but like you said,
it's only happened once.
I know, but it's always funny. It's not always gonna be there, Kanye. It's not always gonna be there. So while it is there,
just for the next 2 years, you just gotta flame me.
have to harp on about it. And what we are not done harping on about the fact that this attacking team are fluid on a map such as Theme Park. This was one of their favorites. And you can see it. Dr. Dropshot getting those entries nice and quick. He was nearly on site even just to wreak a bit more havoc. Naka will six pick from the smoke onto the Legion in a attempt to slow down the attackers somewhat instead of going for that normal plant denial. And if we have a quick look here, it will be a top floor defense. It is initiation and I forget the other office. Yeah,
Yep.
office. Is the mirror in play? It is not. Mirror is very strong on this bomb side. I don't know if you've ever played.
Oh, I was the pioneer back in PlayStation days. In my ranked sack, I was the mirror pioneer for this bomb side. You extend into initiation and office, whether you're playing initiation or office or bunk and daycare. If you play a mirror looking into logistics and one looking into cash, there's no way you're losing the round. I'm just gonna put it out that way. But they don't have the mirror. Oh.
Kanye diffuse trademark strat.
Bro,
Kanye pocket strat.
talk about Kanye diffuse strats. Okay. Drop shot on site. If anyone knows me and has played ranked with me previously, you will know my most iconic call out is, boys, I'm on site, I need help. And that's what
call out.
I mean, that's just what Dropshot does. He's looking to do it once again. He's just bot walking up main stairs. He's looking to find these engagements. There's one on the bottom of the hatch. Jaeger's not ready for this, and he gets killed.
Is this a Meaty Marley strat video?
Oh, come on.
He's just bot walking up the stairs. He just, this is exactly what Marley does. He walks up and he's like, oh, hip fire, silencer dead. And that's exactly what Dropshot's going for, except he's got the R4C in hand. He's already got one kill. He's pre-firing through all the way into Daycare. Will not collect though, but will take some zappy zaps from the wall behind him. Wavy gets the pick onto Urgo though, and that is the Thatcher off the board. So Thatcher and Twitch gone, not really able to get rid of any wall denial anymore, I don't believe. Cannibals here playing top arcade, and Dropshot's now going to put a flank drone out, or maybe just a drone to bait anybody into push towards him. Kaiko's still on rappel outside, and I don't know that they know that he's here. Malusi is low on HP, and you can hear gunfire rattling off all around this map. Noctos goes for Rana, does get Kaiko, but Kaiko does get Noctos.
Oh, there was a 1-for-1 trade.
It's a trade. Shots coming out from the R4C. The one time's not in his favor just yet. There's a swing from Cannibal, but Dropshot will collect the kill first on to your player, Alex. It is a 2v2 with half the round gone just about. Cannibal's only now getting onto the hard bridge. Wavy is low HP. So things are looking favorable for Omnia's Gaming, and he's going to look to take into, or towards the bomb sites rather, sees the Legion, and how is that not a headshot? Question mark.
That's the question for the ages. Every single Siege player has dealt with it, but now he swings wide and gets one. Can he find the second? He's trying to do it. Whips out the pistol, but no, it's Cannibal on the hard breach. The hard support, I guess, not really, because none of these players really are support players. They're a team of fraggers.
Facts.
Yeah.
There's no. You're just picking it because there has to be. No one here is a support player.
I really think they just have like who pulled the shortest straw today is gonna play the hard breacher.
But has it mattered? The AK-12 is absolute animals putting it to work.
I guess, but there are still better guns. Like, it's good, but it's not best.
I mean, would you run the 5.56 instead?
I love it. Yes.
AKA
100%.
sandals now?
Yes. 5.56 is a goated gun. It has the 2.0 scope, it has the 2.5 scope, it has the reflex, the hollow, everything. Everything you would want on that gun. High damage rate, good recoil, angled grip.
So fire rate.
That's a positive in gold players like mine's perspective.
Fair. I forget who I talk to. We are gold represent. You know, we out here. We're giving you the perspectives of the mid-rank. The people that don't generally get opinions. We're giving you a space to share your gold opinions. So please, if you have any siege-related opinions that you feel are not heard enough, post them in the chat. Not sure where I was going with this, but I can tell you where the defenders are going. They're going to in an office once more. We do not have a mirror in play, but we do have Alex picking up the rook, which is interesting. It's a very niche pick. Often people would rather take the dock, just because you can stim your teammates, you can stim yourself, you can play a little bit more aggressive if you have that HP advantage. He said he will take those rook plates, so potentially trying to help his defenders not go down to nades, or maybe survive for another 3 bullets of an R4C?
Yeah, Rook plates out no matter the situation, and this is one of those situations. Dr. Dropshot,
Oh my goodness.
once again, he's just keeping going. He fire. Oh, I was about to say he almost finds the Jaeger once again. He does 1 single bullet of damage onto him, I believe a body shot. The Jaeger finally converts it in the opening kill. Dr. Dropshot to fall, and I really think Dark Esports can snowball off of this. Omnius Gaming, they're still in a good position, don't get me wrong. They're using their Selmas. I have no idea where that was used, but they're using it, and they're putting pressure onto the... Oh my. Oh, that was Yellow Ping. He got violated.
No. That was incredibly unfortunate. That's what Sandals gets for playing Hard Breach. You don't put that man on, he gets absolutely smacked. And Ergo nearly collecting another kill there. The player was not down. He'll make it all the way through into Gong. And not going to follow up on this, Ergo. Surely you push through and just collect this kill with that Sophia in hand. But no, he's going to rotate back upstairs. He's going to rendezvous with the rest of his teammates. Now, there has been a breach into the offer side. There's been a double breach, in fact. And it's soft or Yellow Ping gives away the presence of 1 defender, but does not manage to collect the kill. There is the jiggle peek. There's the crouch spam. Cannibal will collect onto Alex. He's been doing so well thus far. Kaiko is down. Naka gets Ergo. And the Cannibal gets 1 more. He's not even going to... Oh my goodness. Wow, that did not go the way I thought it was going to go.
Yeah, I mean, Dark Esports don't... Like, they can't be counted out, ever. They're a good team. They're just not on the same level as OG in this round, though. They're 1 up. That was a really clean round from them. Everywhere, from that opening kill from the Jaeger to adapt towards actually learning now that, okay, that's what Dropshot does. Let's just do that. Let's just counter that, because Dropshot, he's a creature of habit as much as he is a creature of I walk, I get killed. But even further than that, there was some teamwork, some really good teamwork coming out in that round. Not just the post plant, but can we talk about that kill through the wall onto the Thermite?
That was an absolute shame. And I would be depressed afterwards. Something that I picked up that I actually mentioned during the intermission was that we've seen Titan, X-Titan play on Theme Park, and I don't know if the map was lost, but the key to beating them was expecting that incredibly fast entry from an Ashe player and denying her that first pick. As soon as that entry is gone, then it becomes a bit shambolic here, and that is exactly what we saw. Jaeger likely heard the Ashe jump in, maybe, I think it was probably drug storage, pushes all the way through bathroom, pre-fired, and managed to get the kill. After that, it's a 4v5. You can sit pretty and wait for the rest of the fraggers to move throughout the map, but shutting down that entry for a drop shot or a Sandals is huge, and I think that is what Dark Esports need to do. Yeah, if you need to lie under a window and go for a cheeky knife, do what you got to do. But I think that is what is needed here if they're wanting to get another one up on OG to come, or to bring it rather to a draw.
The thing about Dark, though, thus far in this game is when they get that opening kill, they don't convert it each and every single time, even though statistically rounds where you get the opening kill, it's about 80%. I can't remember the exact stats that get converted. And he has the Yellow Ping, sprays with the R4C, and he finds a kill. But Dark Esports, even though they're on the back foot at this one, so it's not as applicable here, but Dark Esports, it feels like each and every single time they've been ahead, they kind of throw it, to put it bluntly, by just overswinging everything. And in this scenario, yes, you have to overswing, because you're a man down. You need to be the one that brings the aggression, but not when you're facing Dr. Dropshot. He's going to bring the aggression no matter what. He finds a double for himself on the round. He's looking for more. The wall's being opened, 2 minutes on the clock, and already the bomb site is starting to fall.
We're seeing a Yana and an Ashe in the same round, which is quite odd, not something you see very often. Shield's still in place here, and the Sandal's not able to shoot
wallbang that.
Nope, can't wallbang that. And Urgo takes a lot of damage from the mirror, but Naka will fall. Alex will get a refrag onto Urgo, though, as Sandals looks to press the advantage in towards the Dragon door. Nades are being prepped by the Yana, thrown all the way deep into the side. I don't know if they're...
Oh, look, the bathroom flank. He's not ready for this.
Specifically. Oh, there it is.
That's a massive opener.
Yep, there's your bathroom flank. The bandit collects the kill onto Kaiko. It is a 2v3, though. Cannibal doing cannibal things, eating them up alive. Going for plant now in a 1v3. Only Noctis left alive. MP7 in hand. He's waiting for the rotate. Very nice shot onto Dr. Drop. He gets aggressive, but the drop shot from Sandals, in fact, with that Type 89 in hand, will clean things up.
Yeah, that was a clean round. Sure. Oh, okay. It looked like the band might have been able to clutch it out if he had found the kill onto the prone Tibana, but still, OG with a firm lead. Yeah, in this game, they're on the attack on Theme Park, and they find themselves 3-1 up. This is not par for the course. This is not normal. If you're not a Siege fanatic, if you haven't played Theme Park a lot for whatever reason, if you despise it and you've been banning it out each and every single time in your ban phase, Theme Park, and even overarchingly Siege, it's not a an attacking-sided game. 3-1 up on their attacking side. They are looking golden.
Yeah, I mentioned at the start of the previous round that what they need to do is they need to shut down the... You know how you spawn peak? I'm not like... These guys are really hitting their shots. You can't rely on them not to see you, not to pre-fire the common spots, especially spawn peeker to spawn peak. You need to wait for that entry, try and catch them off guard. Let's hope that Dog Esports are going to read into this. We do see Alex on your Goyo once more, and my dog is actually really loud.
He is quite loud. And that's quite a obtuse observe. God, come on. It happened again. I'm gonna have to carry this. I can't just flick it on over to Luda because he's silencing his dog. I'm slipping over my words and I don't even have someone to pass it over to. But Omnius Gaming, they have quite a lot of players to pass it onto, even when one or two fall, and it's been the case this entire game. They've been showing up. This time around, again, sure, Cannibal, he's been the star player, joined by Dr. Dropshot. They're really the ones shining and getting those important kills, but across the board, these players have been getting the important kills. They've been playing as a team, and once again, you see it happening. And teamwork coming up. Thatcher is going to spray on into Drug. Sure, there's not someone this time around, but you've got to check each and every single corner. And I don't know if they're going to check for this Jaeger. He swings wide, and he almost finds a one, but he's still there. He's still not cleared out. Oh, man. Oh, I love that. I love that. That was almost cinematic, the way he died.
Credit to our observer and producer, like getting some crazy shots here. Sandals also getting a crazy shot onto Noctos, and that is the bandit who was playing in the arcade hallway. Now Wavy also getting a lot of damage, and as I said, Alex will get fouled. Kaiko, courtesy of...
Can we jump to the Jaeger, though? He's still in Gafe.
Man, it's
not
crazy.
anymore.
No, you see? Oh, it's flawless. That is
OG,
incredibly
man.
unfortunate. OG with the OG strats. Flawless round for them. And they don't care anymore. They're not going for hard breach. They're not going for plant. They're going for full-on frag fest. And I don't think Dark Esports are ready for that.
Oh, definitely. I mean, like, that's not a new observation, let's be honest. Clubhouse, that was the reason Clubhouse ended the way it did. It's just... I don't even know how to categorize it even more, because it's not... I mentioned this previously on Clubhouse. It's not just that they're an aggressive team, that they have good gunplay, that they have, I'm the next Bolo. No, they actually have teamwork. There's a lot more than meets the eye. It's not just a team that goes, okay, open hatch, let's all five drop and we get kills and we get flawless round. No, it's a concoction of that, yes. There's always an element of that in South African Siege, let's be honest. But there's also the element of pure and really, uncontested, it's just plain the way it is, some real good strats being utilized here.
I don't see a lot of instances where there's a refrag moment for the defending team, which I think is a telling tale of this map so far.
Yeah.
You would hope to see that there's some sort of... I don't want to call it teamwork because I don't feel teamwork is the correct word, but we need these defensive players to play a little bit closer together just to start helping each other win these gunfights, because they're not doing it alone. That much can be said, and that is just due to the mechanical skill coming out from OG. I think if Dark Esports can survive a little bit later into the round and they start playing a little bit closer together, How often does that happen though? Genuinely?
A lot.
All the time.
I mean, I have outlines. Wait, no, drones don't have outlines. What am I saying? Only Mozzie drones have when you're on the defensive side. But Biana drone coming up, catches open, and I talked about it's a duality of open hatch, we rush, and teamwork. In this instance, it's looking like open barricade, we rush into cash, we open the wall, and we get the kills. There's Jaeger on the other side, so might be able to find that note, make that. Oh, am I? He's ready for
What
this one.
on earth is going on? I would have assumed there would be bandit batteries on the. Not to be the case. Now Lucy does get tagged. There's to get rid of that annoying Banshee that is in his way. Is he just going to push for the frag? There is a yellow ping. They know there's someone involved. There's a pre-fight behind.
Oh, he went both?
One. Does he get two? He does
Oh.
not. The Wamai will collect the kill onto the Thatcher, who was got so aggressive. He's saying anything your AR can do, mine can do too. Still inside the vault. Drop shot will finish off Naka though in a 3v2 as Alex is currently down. He will be finished off by Cannibal, and there is the diffuser going down. Last alive is the bandit. Sees the Yana, but with a cheeky crouch will find the kill, and OG win round 6. Nearly, very nearly going flawless on their attacking half.
Yeah, 5-1 if I'm not mistaken at this point
Yep.
in time. They've only dropped one. They're heading into their defensive half on Theme Park. I called it 7-2 before this game started, and I don't mean anything bad to Dark Esports, but just from what I've seen, I think I'm gonna have to adjust that to a 7-1.
Ever so slightly. I'm just gonna go in the back door and like let's just change it. Just drop one round.
I
But
like
anyway,
this line. Come on.
you said it.
That was milliseconds.
Kanya, you know how this goes. We say or highlight anything odd on the roster or it gets
Come on,
dropped.
man. I hate this. The Lion is such a good pick to counter OG because their entire playstyle is fluidity, moving around. It's a big map. You're gonna have that roam play. You have Kaiko on the Vigil. You have Sandals on the Mozzie. They're all going to be playing around, whether that be in kayaks, in top floor, cash, whatever. They're going to be fluid. You can shut that down with a Lion. You can't really do that with a Thatcher, even though, yes, it's needed to get the walls open, and you can't, as far as I know, put a pest on a cam. You can't catch a default cam.
Could you catch a Sandals, please? Please. Just put the pest out and move on. I thought he was gonna go for a TK there. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was like, there was a moment where I think the comment is just like sheer banter, and he's just like, you know, we're really funny if I TK you right now, and we just move on with our lives. But no, not to be the case. What I actually want to see, you mentioned the line would have been a great pick, and I do agree with you. What would have been nice to see is if your entry and your second entry, you can drone out the player. You get the line ping going and you just execute a pinch immediately. That is what is needed. That is how you get your first pick. That is textbook siege. But of course, the line was picking up a gridlock, which is quite interesting. And also playing the F90 and not the LMG that she does have in her arsenal. I tend to run the LMG, to be honest. I feel like the F90 has a little bit less bullets than I would like when taking engagement. Especially because you're playing a 3 armor operator. Your movement's not the fastest in the world, so I like to compensate that with a little bit more bullets, just spray and pray type vibes. But some more droning being done. They are aware there's somebody inside of maintenance, and here you can see Alex is going to pre-fire lockers, no one to be found. And the Zofia looking for the mute. Has he taken any HP damage? Not just yet, but he's stuck between a rock and a hard place as the pinch is coming at some point. Ooh, eagerly anticipating a run out here is Eva, and he's not far off, but I think that OG are going to play this a little bit more passive just because they are 5-1 up. They can afford to just sit pretty and wait for these attackers to push in. Of course, Steambox does tend to be very defender side, not that OG have shown that at all. And I mentioned there was going to be a jump on, and there was.
Yeah, it's Sandals, and he does Sandals things, though Nocta shuts him down. He's trying to find one more. There's one more in the hallway on 90. Can spray through the soft wall, maybe? No. He's not going to be able to collect that kill. The player does fall back, and it's equalized out into a 4-4. They have control of Gong Room now, so maybe, if Thatcher's still on the board, he can go and open up the main breach onto site. But look at this. The Jaeger might just dance on into the crosshairs. Not just yet. Cannibal goes down. And that's an incredible kill. Naka, I really have to highlight, has been the one player that's been able to shut them down each and every single time when they make these aggressive plays. And now, he's on the hard support. He's doing a lot for his team. Drop shot. That is one of the... Okay, no, I know that's Mimi, but that's one of the biggest brain rotates I've seen in a long time. He was stuck in there, but he knew there was no one on drug side. There was no one to shut him down, so he just goes, okay, I'm going to rotate outside the map, and he finds one off of it, even though they knew exactly where he rotated to. Now, Naka, though. This is where they're putting... something hits the fan. There's one player still there.
Uh-oh.
Is he going to find it? He does.
Did you
he
not
shuts
know?
down drop shot. It's a 1v2. Kaiko is the one player left to shut down Dark Esports here. He whips out the SMG-11. He's going to try and find the close quarter engagements. Wavy is getting the bomb down. He has impact, so he could cancel this plant. Spraying on through, the recoil proving just a tad bit too much. He's the one player still able to make my prediction of a 7-2 viable. Sprays on through, the Buck might just take the damage. No, it's Kaiko. He's in such an unwinnable position, and Wavy shuts him down with a C8 and the 1.5 scope. He finds the kill, and he finds another round for Dark Esports.
The G2 skin not managing to do things there. Unfortunately, is not the good luck charm. Kaiko. That SMG-12, positively unbearable, if I'm going to be honest.
Man, I remember back in the day. I actually rewatched SI 2018 today, and I saw, like, they unironically played Boss G because the SMG-12 was so viable. Like, the K1A wasn't even needed because you could just clap people with the SMG-12 and even on Dokkaebi. Like, that gun really had a fall off, and OG, they had a fall off in that round. They really looked in control of it, but they didn't, well, they weren't able to actually translate it into a win. It's 5-2, and they're making a comeback. But
remember when you wanted to go in the back door and change your to 7-1?
I do remember that. And I also remember when I said the Lion is a good pick, and I also remembered when I said there was a Goyo potential. I remember my voice crack. I remember a lot of moments in this broadcast.
Everything comes through. The caster curse is real today. And let's see how many rounds we'll have that for. It is, currently 5-2 to OG Dark Esports winning that round out. We mentioned how good that rotate was from the Jaeger. Managing to hop out the window, hop back in, gets a kill on the way back to side, but it was not enough.
Samuel's just having fun, man.
He's showing us how to hack the map.
He's just
Apparently,
having
if you
fun.
shoot 6 bullets on that little carpet, you get wall hacks. Stay tuned for more. Like, follow, subscribe.
Attacker's objective is to locate a bomb and defuse it.
Rotate up arcade now, and everyone's still on drone except for Alex. I'm going to push up here. Very, very careful of the pending spawn peek that you could expect to come. I don't think anybody's spawn peeking at the moment, not that I can see through the silhouettes. But doesn't mean you can't hit a spicy one tap, and that's exactly what knocked us for. He sees the punched window, and he's waiting patiently. Does he spot out the dome, the cranium of a OG player? Waiting. No, actually someone's just going to pre-fire in and just make sure bluntly that there's no one there. But there is indeed, there's a Jaeger inside a gong. He's towards the bathroom side of the map.
Oh,
and actually, ooh, yellow ping.
That was really close because it looked like the attackers were aware of that, but equally as much, the Jaeger was almost able to find a kill there. No, he backs off. No one now inside of Gong or 90. There's a lot of alleyway, a lot of leeway here for Dark Esports to work around with and to capitalize on. Capitalize on it they do. They chuck out the track stingers. Gonna make sure that they can't retake this area. But look at that prone position from Dr. Dropshot on the stairs. He's holding, I believe, yes, he is holding small office from a very tight angle. If anyone waltzes on through there, they're gonna get shut down by one of the most confident 416C Carbine players in South Africa. Though, it's a 5v4. Okay, at least I didn't cast the curse it. I was able to change myself from saying 5v5 to 5v4 because it happened as I was saying it. But now, it's a 4v5. And the vertical play coming out from this vigil might be very instrumental. We're still trying to get these side walls open, though there's still a lot on their checklist.
Where's the roam clear from Dark Esports? I feel like they're not putting much effort into this one. They've just breached horizontally and are trying to convert this into side pressure. Here comes Knock Sledge, opening up the bathroom window. He's going to try and push this vigil out that was inside of control room. But I'm not... Ooh, they were well aware of where... See that reticle immediately going to the pixel that was being held, but he's actually rotated onto the bottom of the stairs. Sandals gets the pick onto Alex, and that is the gridlock off the board. Noctis does get Kaiko though, and pre-fires through the ceiling will not connect onto the player up top. Noctis gets one more onto Sandals, and all of a sudden we're in a 3v3. This is looking very doable for Dark Esports with 30 seconds on the clock. They do, however, still need to set up for their execution, and you do still have 2 anchors on site. Cannibal takes a lot of damage, about 75 HP off of him. SMG 11 is up. Flashbangs are flying through. And the Maestro is going to have to look at the wall. There you can see
There's another
will it be a
impact.
successful
Yes, another
impact?
impact.
Oh, he's
If
flat.
that impact trick comes out, they win the round.
Oh.
Okay, it doesn't. He places it at a prone position. But still,
Run,
they
my
need to
guy.
find these kills. It's a 2v2. They're on the bomb site. They have to defuse a plant it. No, Naka. Not like this.
Not like this. Incredibly unfortunate scenes there for Doc. The missed impact trick. Exactly what they needed to convert that, but the diffuser was not on site in time and thus could not be placed on the floor. Map and match point for Omnius Gaming, and not much more to be said than that.
Yeah, it's looking grim. Bunk and Dakin. Come on, man. They change it up to initiation and office as I'm saying it. So I
5
guess.
on 5?
Yeah, 5 for 5 at this point. The last two in the same round.
Oh, that's a rough one, buddy. Gotta hand that one to you. Legion 6 picked. So you said now after they've locked it in, you say like, what? No, you will stick the Legion, and it is stuck. Okay, so Rook onto a Legion.
See, you're not cursed for
A
some
lot of
reason.
no. It's just because I bide my time. I'm like, if they literally don't have any time left to change, please don't change. That's like a little prayer I say every time I'm watching the ban phase or the operator selection phase. It will be initiation and office. Could be the ultimate finisher for OG. And we can see a pretty standard lineup. We have the mirror in play, which is very nice to see. We do like to see those little placements, some sort of variation come out. And I believe they're probably going to have one looking into the top arcade there outside of the cafe, maybe? You're the mirror main. Tell me.
Yeah, so the default is to obviously use one looking into logistics on the left side of the panel inside of initiation, the other one in office. On either left or the right side of the panel, Cannibal is currently reinforcing, looking into cash, but looks like they're actually utilizing it in extending into bunk and daycare. And I actually kind of like this because it gives more presence on the map for the side of Omnius Gaming, and that's something they really like. They like having that fluid team comp. They love just roaming around and shutting you down each and every single chance that they get. And this mirror setup is going to allow them to do that. But Dark Esports, they're spawning in. This is their last chance to put up to Omnius Gaming's aggression. Do you think they're going to be able to hold out one more?
I want to say no. I'm going to say no. There hasn't been an entry just yet, as there has been, I think, nearly every round in the past map as well. The entry has been incredibly swift and concise, but not to be the case this time. Already a minute is gone. They haven't gotten into the map. They're only getting their drones into the windows now. That's how scared they are of the spawn picks and of the aggression that comes out from the defenders. They are aware of the mutes. Oh.
What?
Excuse
Okay.
me?
Okay. So, remember when I said they need to put up to the aggression of Omnius Gaming for one more round?
Mm-hmm.
Ah, man. Two players jump out the window. One of them died to a claymore, the other finds two. It's a 3v3. Ash is going to take this time to drone it out. So, Dark Esports, at least they're not the aggressive adrenaline junkies. Okay, screw that. They're jumping through the window. They're looking to find these engagements.
The moral of the story, if your mom says to you, if your friend jumps off a cliff, would you jump as well? That's exactly what Sandals and Dropshot tend to do. And trying to be mirrored here by Wavy and Alex, but Ergo will shut down Alex. That's the Ash of the board. 3v2. Naka and Wavy. So still hard breach on the board. He's going to go for a very quick jiggle peek, but does not get any intel. Here comes the concussion grenade from Wavy. Sends it into sight, does not get triggered, and there is the rotate coming through, potentially through the back. I think that... Is the mute actually making a rotate now? Ooh, Kaiko shuts down Wavy. It is Naka and a Dream trying to keep Dark Esports' Dream alive. And he will get the first one onto Ergo now. There is HP both off of Cannibal and Kaiko, but he's going to have to win these gunfights. And with no intel, you can see he has to face check everything. That 5.56 can do a lot of damage, as we mentioned earlier in this broadcast. Ooh, and unfortunate. The prone angle will be the one to do it. OG pick up the round, and OG pick up this series. GG's in chat, and that's a 7-2.
If there was anyone that was going to do it, it was Naka, the one player that's been able to shut down OG sometimes. But in the end, it's clean, it's clinical, and it's completed. Dr. Dropshot as your MVP, and that's OG going on into the next round of the World League Esports 10K. And that's been us. Thanks so much for joining, guys. This has been quite a banger of a match, OG versus Dark Esports. We went to Clubhouse, we went to Theme Park, 7-2, 7-2. Really good showing from OG, and I really think it's promising for them heading into the future of this tournament.
Oh, absolutely. I'd like to see. I think it is. If there's a dream match to see in this tournament, who would you want to see face off?
Regicide versus OG, the two teams that I feel can take down ATK to win this.
Mm-hmm.
I really feel if that game happens and the winner of that goes to face off against ATK, man, I can't think of a better storyline. That's still a ways away, though. That's still a ways away, though, and we're going to be going to a quick intermission screen just to switch up casters, just to prep for the next game, get things ready on the back end so we can have the best experience for you guys on the front end. For the time being, though, once the intermission is here, once you head over to @WorldLeagueESP on Twitter, be sure to join the giveaway. Predict who you think is winning out this tournament, be that ATK, Fiber Esports, Regicide, Omnius Gaming. We saw them in this game, absolutely incredible. You might want to have them as your pick. I don't know. That's up to you. If you want to win that nice mousepad, yeah, it's a mousepad and a jersey. It's really sexy. I can vouch. Head over there. That being said, this has been Kanye. This has been Luda. Any last words?
Nothing from my side. Again, GG's well played to OG, really showing that they deserve to be where they are, and their fixation on the 10K at the end of the tournament. But they've got many obstacles in there. I look forward to seeing them face it. But as you said, that would be us. We are going to throw it to a quick intermission, and for us, that is out.
Yep, just an update. It's Regicide versus Viben, so don't go anywhere. It's going to be quite a stacked game. Cheers, boys.
Baby, wait, I know that you're afraid, but it'll be okay if you just stay with me, and we can run from here, and we can disappear, and they won't find us where we are going, dear. So baby, hold on to me. You're the night sky trying to make me see your stars, but the dark gets so lonely. Now I see violet, I can feel silence. In the dark's all that I see. When your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound, I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You're the night sky hiding behind dark gray clouds. I can't figure you out now. I see all blue. There is so much cold in you, and the silence is so loud when you go. I just stay dancing with my shadow all day. Watch the time. I can't find the point where our two paths align. But you're the night sky. I'm trying to see your stars, but I've always feared the dark. Now I see violet. I can feel your silence. You always feel so far when your stars have burnt out and your heart makes no sound. I'll find violet in your eyes. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky. You'll always be my night sky.
Eyes blue as the ocean, you're as blue as the open sky. All these blues I can know why. I was really hoping why don't you and I don't together like we can change the weather tonight. Eyes blue as the ocean, you're as blue as the open sky. All these blues I can know why. I was really hoping why don't you and I don't together like we can change the weather tonight. Eyes blue as the ocean, you're as blue as the open sky. All these blues I can know why. I was really hoping why don't you and I don't together like we can change the weather tonight. Change the weather tonight.
inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through eyes covered in ink and bleach. Cross out the ones who heard my cries and watched me weep. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Take my eyes open to force reality. Why can't you just let me eat my weight in glee? I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in their cradles, profanities. Some days I feel skinnier than all the other days. Sometimes I can't tell if my body belongs to me. I love everything. Fire spreading all around my room. My world's so bright, it's hard to breathe, but that's alright. Hush. Content, hold your breath and feel the tension. Devils hide behind redemption. Honesty is a one-way gate to hell. I wanna taste consumption. Eat faster to waste oxygen. Hear the children sing aloud. It's music till the wick burns out. Be carefree lately, yeah. Just kicking up daisies. Got one too many quarters in my pockets. Counting like the four-leaf clovers in my locket. Untied laces, yeah. Just tripping on daydreams. Got dirty little lullabies playing on repeat. Might as well just ride around the nursery and count sheep.
When it hurts like this, we climb the greatest heights, jump down and have a fight, and that's all we'll ever like. But that can never change my mind. When it's good, it's amazing. When it's bad, it's uneasy. I wouldn't have like, would you keep it in a bottle, lie in bed and pour a drink of me? And let your friends think you're developing a problem, but we're happier than it could be. And if there wasn't always something dragging us down, like everyone around us saying we're just messing around. Well, maybe I can love you, babe, but maybe I'm too afraid of getting less than I gave. I'm not that brave. I'm not that brave. We were so close to everything we wanted, to everything we almost had. We were so close that I could almost feel the pain and it hurt so bad. But there's always something changing the way we go. Like everyone around us thinking that they should have a say, but they don't. Well, maybe I can love you, babe, or maybe I'm too afraid of getting less than I gave. I'm not that brave. 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 I'm not that brave.
Here we go again. Trying hard, but you wanna be my friend. Ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. Here we go again. Call my bluff, I'ma be here till the end. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 Here we go again. Time is up and I'm calling up my friends. Ain't no wonder why, ain't no one to ride to. Here we go again. Call me up and you wanna be my friend. I'm the one you ride, I'm the one you ride to. If you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 Look, if you don't wanna change, ain't no place to hide, ain't no one to run to. If you don't wanna change, I can help you out. 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 I can't live without you. I can't breathe with.
What's up, ladies and gents? What's up, ladies and gents? Welcome to World League Esports, your home of esports. Today, we're super excited to bring you the WLE 10K. Yep, the battle continues, and right now we are on the third battle. My name is William, and right here next to me is Justin. How's it going, Justin?
Hey man, I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm fantastic. We are hosting the third fight of this tournament, which is another banger. Hope you guys enjoyed the previous matches, courtesy of Sunset and Olympus and King Luda and Kanye Diffuse. But it's now up to me and Justin. And Justin, what are we going to be doing today, dude?
So, today's matchup is Vibin Esports versus Regicide. It is a best of 3 format, so it's going to be a pretty long game. So stay tuned for that, as the first map is Cafe, and then the second map will be Consulate, and for the decider will be Theme Park. So 3 very interesting matches to take place in today's game. So stay tuned for that, because the map's looking pretty interesting at the moment.
Yeah, apparently there's been a lot of 7-2, 7-2. So hopefully these two teams can change up the score lines and give us a much better, closer score line here and there. So
Yeah, but William, so speaking of Vibin Esports and Regicide, who are you backing for this matchup? Who do you think is going to take it? What are your predictions?
who am I back? Didn't I choose first the last time?
I think you did, so I guess I'll go first.
It's on you now.
So both very strong teams, but looking through this matchup, Cafe obviously being a defender sided, so Regicide coming up on top there. But as a whole for the matchup, I think I'm gonna have to stick with Regicide for this matchup. I think they have what it takes to take it. So I'm gonna stick with them for this one.
All right, you're going for Regicide, and I'll gladly stick with Vibin Esports. I mean, can't go wrong with Kixie and Wicked in the team, courtesy of Wasteful, KWR, and TPL. They're going to be bringing a storm. But on the other side, got Minted, DVN, Devon, Irie, and A-Lake. So, not to take away from Regicide, it's going to be a hell of a fight. They're going to put up a hell of a fight, and both these teams won it, so we'll see who wants it even more.
Yeah, but the bans coming through on Cafe, so more standard bans, except for that Capiteo and that Wamai. Obviously, the two counters to each other both being banned out, and the Thatcher obviously being banned. The most common ban for most teams on Cafe, and especially across all maps, and the Mirror will join that banning lineup as well. So teams do not want to play against the Mirror, because Mirror is a very impactful operator. She can really give a lot of intel through her Mirror windows. So teams just look at that and they're like, nope, we don't want anything to do with it. We are going to stick with banning her as our default ban.
This is true. And looking at the Capitan or my ban, that's a rather interesting in Cafe. Wamai obviously been just leaving the Jaeger to do all the throwable catching and all the utility catching from the attackers, but it's going to make it a little bit difficult for the defenders, I think, without the Wamai on board. But hey, Wamai is kind of new, so to speak. So teams have managed without him. So maybe they might manage without him this round around.
Yep, obviously with Wamai getting his nerf, taking away his shields, team don't really see much of him as a use. Obviously he's still pretty useful and a counter to Capiteo, but Capiteo being banned in this matchup, so his usefulness not really being there at all. More or less to say that he might just be able to then support that pixel play with the shield more strongly, but with him losing his shield, it's like, do you take him or don't you take him? It's up to teams really if they want to play him to just give that extra support to Jaeger, but most teams do perfectly fine with the whole new Jaeger rework.
Yeah, but Justin, looking at the lineup, it doesn't seem like anybody bought a shield. So I wonder if they're gonna be holding that pixel side of things or not. Doesn't seem that way. It seems like they're gonna be holding more of the cocktail and wide stairs kind of take, leaving the attackers a little bit of free reign, and maybe it might be easier for them to take red side of things and piano, but maybe Regicide does have a plan, and we'll see what their plan is. As we see now, most of the attackers repelled onto those piano windows, getting ready to get the assault onto piano. See the Ash pre-firing onto Pixel, but not finding anybody there because Regicide isn't holding it hard that side. Somebody dropped off. It might have been the Jaeger. It's going to probably be set up for a flank. He doesn't want to be spotted as he went away. But the Ash is going to go down and look for that attack.
Indeed, now we do see Vibin playing that Lion, so really going to support their attacks if they choose to take it aggressively into side. Having to get that information is really going to support them, especially combined with that Zero, bringing a lot of info game to their attacks. Added onto all their drones, it's really going to support them, and I believe make it a lot easier for them to get into sight and get that knowledge on where the defenders are playing, and especially those lion scans really just making it hard for the defenders to move unless you want to give your position away. Some players see it as, oh well, I might as well give my position away, but in those dying moments it might be very impactful if you do move and give your location away, because information game in Siege is everything.
Yep, and provided that the wall is reinforced. If it's soft, then you're in a big danger of being wall banged through the wall. But now two players stuck in freezer, and they're being pressured by these attackers from the likes of Vibin. But Eli getting a pick onto Kixie to start the lead off right now. So that is the sledge off the board. But the attack is looking rather strong at the moment, as a bunch of walls, especially the one in trash, being opened. So that setup for an execute might be happening as Wicked rounds things off and evens the man count onto Regicide as well, making it a 4v4. Time is running out, 22 seconds left. This is going to be a mess of a round. I can see it happening. Wasteful putting down the diffuser. What's going to be happening right now? C4 is being tossed everywhere, getting a double kill by Mentor. DVN ending it off with a round for Regicide.
Can I just say that C4 from, I believe it was minted, really well played from him there to get that information and just stop that plant in its tracks. Did not give Vibin a chance to get through. It was a very off plant position. He was pretty exposed, so maybe it was not the best choice, but it was the only angle that he had available to him. He couldn't plant at default because it was open. He couldn't plant at trash because of freezer. So he was planting right on top of his teammate so that he could have that support and have that, I guess, body block and just that cover that he needed to get the plant down. And unfortunately, it was a good attempt, but nothing came out of that because it was a stalemate for quite a while in the round, and then just coming down to the last 30 seconds, last 20 seconds for an execute is not always the best plan for an attacker, because time management is very important if you want to get a successful plant down, especially if your man count is not in, the correct position and you don't have that player advantage than the defenders. So there, Vibin maybe just need to stick up the pace, just speed it up a bit, and then they will be able to see a better attack. But well played from Regicide nonetheless to really just execute their defense and just block Vibin in their tracks.
No, it did seem like there was a bit of a stall from Vibin as soon as they got hold of Cocktail and Piano. But Regicide was sitting comfortably from Cocktail side of things as they weren't getting pressured from there. Maybe a little bit of pressure from White Hallway, but not enough to get them off position. The Jaeger and I believe, I don't know who the second one was. They did fall off, but they didn't even approach Red Stairs for a flank or whatsoever. Maybe they knew that one of the Vibin players were watching the flank, but yeah, seeing as the man count was 4v4 and Regicide had the man count in the earlier stages, they didn't feel the need to go for a flank at all. And it worked out for them in the end. So, second round right now, Justin, what's going to be changing?
Well, the site, of course. So that the site will now be reading room and mining. So Regicide going for the second site in the middle floor, very interesting. Most people like to go down to kitchen, but I believe still if they go to this reading room, their top floor defense is pretty good. So they want them wanting to hold it out is still a very good choice from them. Obviously, not having much of that vertical play coming out from the attackers. Obviously, you need to first get control of Cocktail Bar and then you can start doing vertical, and that takes quite a lot of time. So Regicide really playing that time game. They do see that Vibin are struggling with their time management and just using that to their advantage, really impacting them. And speaking of that, that's Divan off of the board. Wicked getting the first pick for his team there. That Zero Cam just coming in for that intel, really just supporting his teammate. So well played there to Wicked and to Tierpil using that info. And now it's all up to Kyle here on the top floor. He is supported from White Stairs, but not very close. And we do see a swing coming out there from Wicked, just getting the first pick, and Minted getting a pick onto Tierpil. And there's a refrag onto Kiever, and a refrag now onto Wicked from Mystic. A C4 comes out swinging, but it is a 2 versus 3 with a minute 10 left on the clock. There is a player trying to contest here on Red Stairs, but the player is picked off. That's the mute off of the board by Kiever. Now left in a 1 versus 3. It's all up to Airy, and unfortunately he could not do it. Well done from Kiever there to get those initial picks, getting that info and just playing off of it, and really, really well played, showing the type of player he is and just executing on Regicide's downfall.
Vibin answers back with a round of their own onto Regicide. Regicide now has a problem. It's 1-1 and a scoreline. They're going to kitchen and service this time. Yeah, that round went downhill for Regicide soon as Vibin got control over the top floor and a little bit on the floor below. Mostly because most of the players up top got eliminated very quickly, courtesy of TPL on that 0 with that information game. Love seeing 0 on the board and seeing how useful his cameras can be. So, second round, or third round, should I say, going over to kitchen. Justin, I'm wondering if Regicide is going to be holding top floor again, or are they going to tone it down a little bit and only hold the floor above?
Well, by the looks of it, it does look like they want to hold bakery. So holding bakery and top floor really just puts pressure on your defense because you won't have much pressure or presence in sight. So maybe they decide to hold from white and bakery and then just hold the whole of bottom floor. But otherwise, it does look like there might be 1 or 2 players going upstairs as there are reinforcements going up there. So maybe we do see the Jaeger and the Rooney playing up top, supporting there. Otherwise, so far it does look like they will be holding a full downstairs hold.
Yeah, and not much changing in terms of lineup from Vibin's side. They're going to be taking most of the same operators, and they're going to be taking it from top down as they usually do. So it seems like they have a formula right now, and they're going to be sticking to it. So it's time for roam clearing up on the top floor. They have a tall mountain to climb because this is it's not a big map, but it's not an easy feat to kind of clear out completely, but it is going to be kind of easy for them. They have the top floor control as Regicide isn't contesting it that much. We do have the Ash and the Lion not popping his EE1D just yet. He's going to be waiting for that opportune moment once they know that they have most of the sites cleared and they're ready for an execute. And while I'm speaking right now, Justin, doesn't seem like Regicide is contesting the floor above at all, which means Vibin does have a chance to work that vertical play.
it does look now like Vibin have full top floor control, as Regicide did not put any pressure there at all. So I do think the caster curse comes into play with us a lot, because we spoke about the previous round saying Regicide holding full top floor, supporting them, and then Vibin come and say, no, listen Justin, you're wrong, and they took the round. Now Regicide not playing upstairs at all, I called it, so it's like they're reading my mind at this point. But so far it does look like they've wasted a lot of time, Regicide, being a minute 15 left on the clock. So Vibin's time management a bit slacking there on their execute, but they did have top floor control from the very beginning. It just took, you know, some time to really make sure of that and just be certain so we don't see any stupid deaths, you know, without intel. But them now putting pressure on the top floor, those players playing in bakery not going to be able to really rotate as the verticals holes are being opened above them. So it's going to be a lot of pressure on them to really play in those areas, and then therefore Vibin can really just execute in sight. But speaking of that, Minted getting the first pick there off Wicked, that is the lion off of the board. So he's EE1D's not going to really help in that execute in this last minute, and Kixi losing a lot of HP there. I believe it's from Minted once again, but HP traded back as Kixi wins that gunfight. Now Kiva trying to contest this player playing in the double hallway in kitchen. There is one peeking him. He does not spot him out. He does lose some HP, but that's Devon off of the board. Wasteful getting a pick. Now 10 seconds left on the clock. They're trying to make this execute as Kyle evens the scoreline, getting Kiva off of the board. Wasteful trying to get that plant execute, but he gets C4 there by Eerie. Well done from him, and Tierpil gets downed as well, and then Kyle getting the final pick there onto Kixi, finishing off the round. Really well played from Regicide there to hold out their defense. Even if we thought that Vibin had the top floor control and were putting pressure on them, they still came up on top in that one.
Yeah, it's one thing letting the attackers take most of the map and trying to hold it off onto site, but one of the most difficult things is holding it on site and not letting the defenders kind of peel into your defense. And Regicide just showed us a very good job of doing that, because every single one of them were either in sight or very close to sight on the outer edges of this site, and they managed to hold it off. And Vibin couldn't penetrate that defense whatsoever. But again, Vibin coming out with a one-sided attack, meaning they pushed on to white stairs and possibly down brown stairs and whiskey, if I'm not mistaken, and no pressure onto bakery at all. So it seems like a reoccurring thing for Vibin and Regicide right now. Regicide is just sitting comfortably on one side of the things, not having to worry about anything, and that makes it easier for them to challenge these gunfights comfortably, and seems like they are winning those gunfights. So Vibin has to change a couple of things here, and that is their pressure game. Their pressure game is kind of lacking in some places, because Regicide is comfortable and you can see it, and it's working for them.
Indeed, I agree with you completely. Regicide just playing their game, not really worrying about, I guess, Vibin's attacks. They know they've came prepared, and, you know, really just prepared for every single moment and every single attack that they might use. So Vibin at the moment need to maybe change up something, maybe play unpredictable, maybe have a bit more of that white stairs presence on this top floor attack and put some pressure there. I know I've spoken a lot about white stairs presence on Cafe, especially from that white window, where you can just put so much pressure on that player playing in Pixel, or even that bathroom. You can just cut off his rotate completely, and maybe even stop the player playing all the way top white on the stacks, and just put pressure from there. So maybe Vibin just need to change up where they're putting pressure from, and just try and pinch those defenders completely into sight and not give them any room to breathe, and then it's an easy, you know, execute for them in the end. Because if a defender starts feeling pressure, they're not going to be able to really do much. They just have a couple angles to watch, and if they're getting pushed from different angles, it's going to be very difficult for them.
It is going to be very difficult indeed, but Vibin is making good time right now compared to the previous rounds that they've been doing. They have full control over Piano, and they have only 1 minute 45 seconds left. This is the time, this is the part where they normally stall out, but that doesn't seem like it's the case right now, as we see a little bit of pressure from the Ash. That Banshee has to be dealt with in some form, way or another. If not, then they might have another plan. But it does seem like the attack is slowing down a little bit from Vibin. If I'm not mistaken, somebody has rotated down to the other side of the map. I am wrong. All Vibin players are on the piano side of things. Here's the stall right now, and the stall is because a Regicide is comfortably holding the site from Cocktail. If Vibin isn't pressuring White Stairs, this could become a problem. We see KWR going on a flank watch right now, and Minted in a very dangerous position in bathroom, very close to Pixel. If Wicked is careful, he can get a pick off him right here, right now. Or Kixie, that is.
Indeed, but 40 seconds left on the clock. Now we speak about Vibin coming to that standstill. They had the areas, they had the breach open. They just had to go for, the execute and the plant earlier. But it does look like they will go for that execute now. But as I say that, look at the space. There's no comfortable spot for them to plant. And, then Regicide capitalized on that and they got 2 picks for themselves. And now bringing 2 picks and Kevin getting a team kill onto his teammate. Now bringing it to a 1 versus 2 as Tierpio left on 5 HP. Kevin obviously being down there, I believe it was from the K charge on the wall, but 8 seconds left on the clock. You have to find 2 picks, and there's a peek there from Pixel, from Divon, really just putting pressure on Vibin's attack and winning out the round for Regicide. Really well played from him there.
Yeah, that again, it just it was same story as at the very first round in Bar and Cocktail. They didn't really change much. They attacked Piano and Red Stairs, took control of a Piano and Red Stairs comfortably, and then they just stalled out. So, and Regicide has caught on to this, and they're not really changing much either. They're just doing what defenders are supposed to be doing. Hold an angle and wait for the attackers to push. And that's what Vibin is doing. They're kind of waiting, and then they realize, oh, damn, time's running out. We have to push. We're the attackers, and they push. And Regicide is waiting, and they just eliminate them from there. So Vibin have to be a little bit more creative this time, or the other times coming around, especially when it comes to Bar and Cocktail, because you can't push that site the same way and stall out the same way because your opponents have already caught on to that kind of attack.
Indeed, but now we do see Regicide going back onto their reading room mining defense. So Vibin have a good chance now to bring themselves back into the game and get another round for themselves, as they did win the previous reading room and mining defense for Regicide. So they won their first attack there. So now if they can maybe keep it the same and just maybe not allow Regicide to really adapt, it does look like they are adapting, as there's no Rooney this time, and they have made a rotate into that Shaiko area from Cocktail. So good adaptations from Regicide, but Vibin really need to try and get something out of this. Maybe bring it to a 3-3 split, or get that default 4-2 split if they want to be comfortable on their defense, and maybe just bring themselves back into this game.
Yep, I believe Vibin did win the reading and mining site, so maybe they might get lucky and get this a 1-2, or they're hoping they just do the same thing or change a couple of things here and there and get a win off that. We see Wicked sprinting into Pixel right now, and that's not the Ayana clone, that is him. So he's going to be face checking it. He might have a drone droning it out for him, but he now has control over Pixel. Now it's just all up to the other players on the other side to take control over something else. He gets sprung by bullets and mistakenly drops a grenade. That is a misplay, but he now knows about somebody on White Stairs, and they're going to be getting some intel. Again, this seems like the same story. Vibin stalling out a little bit here again.
Indeed they are, but now we do see them have adaptations as well. They have the Ayana this time instead of the Lion, so that clone really going to be able to support them. I think they wanted to take the Ayana to counter Regicide bringing the Rooney, because she's a great counter to a Rooney, but obviously Regicide reading back into that and not taking a Rooney, so good adaptation from them. But now Vibin trying to make this execute. They have the location of Freezer, so going to be able to put pressure onto this playing Cocktail. They do eventually get the information gain off of Regicide, getting that default cam, but there's the first pick for Regicide. Mystic getting off Kiever. That's him off of the board, and the Ash charges go with it as well. But we do see now trying to get pressure onto these players is Vibin pushing into that cocktail bar area. TRPL now trying to watch their flank, but Wicked has to watch out for those goo mines as he is low on HP. And Kyle adding onto the board there gets wasteful, but Wicked gets a refrag onto him and are getting contested by another player. He picks off Divan off of the round. Now Minted going to try and contest back up here, but there is still C4s from down below. Or no, they aren't actually. All 3 C4s have been used up, so none of that pressure will be there anymore. And now it is a 3 versus 3 with 30 seconds left on the clock, so Viben really have to try and push into this site to try and make an execute.
Yep, and execute has to happen right now because there's only 3 players left from each side of things, with Mystic being on 30 health and Minted eliminating Wicked right off the board, leaving Kixi and TPL to do the dirty work. And a good peek onto TPL onto Mystic, but now they have to deal with a Minted and Airy. TPL has a lot of work for him. There's only 2 seconds left. This round does go to Regicide. And Viben.
Sorry, there. I thought you were done speaking. But Regicide winning out that round. They look at these peaks here from Airy just around the pole, not allowing TRPL to really just pick him off. So well done from him there. Good gun skill. But in the end, TRPL being in a 1 versus 2, a very sticky situation. Obviously, Regicide had the advantage, and then TRPL made it a bit better for Viben, getting a first pick, and then not being able to really connect those shots onto the player playing on white. If he got that pick, maybe it would have been a completely different round, because then it would have been a 3 versus 1 or 2 versus 1 even for that matter, and that's still a much better advantage for Viben than being in a 1 versus 2 situation. And once again, it's that time management playing off in Regicide's favor there. Viben not really being able to execute. They have the information, they have the free areas, but they don't take control of that as soon as the drone says that it's clear. They need to be with their drones constantly, so when that drone goes in, you're straight behind it and you can get the picks off and refrags. If just Viben just need to play a bit more together, I guess, and then it will be a lot better for their attacks. But now we do see Regicide trying to do a full top floor defense all the way from the top to try and just delay Viben's top down attack. So hopefully Viben can read into this and change it up and maybe go for a bottom floor attack instead. So hopefully that will be their play for this round.
That's very true, and Regicide was able to take that round due to the fact that Viben is playing into Regicide's strat right now. Regicide is giving Viben a piece of the map, and Viben is taking it, but then Viben doesn't want to take another piece of the map that Regicide is defending, which is really confusing because as attackers, you kind of have to take that map control or map real estate that you really want or need. You can't just stall out somewhere and hope that the defenders peek you. So Regicide is doing a really good job at giving away what they don't need and just holding on to what they really need. And on to the 5th round, I believe. They've gone onto kitchen, as Justin said, they've gone all the way up to the top to defend the top, and they're probably going to be falling back as time trickles down. So Viben has to clear out the top floor now, which has been kind of easy and difficult for them because they have been taking a part of the map on the top floor, but they haven't been taking the full side of things. So they're going to be taking cocktail, but Regicide has fallen back downstairs, so Viben has to catch on to that pattern as ever. Divan eliminating Wicked, and that is a 5v4 man count. That is the Sophia off the board, which is a very important operator, but a Mystic also eliminating KWR. That is the Ash of the board, so explosives are really low on Viben's side of things with only the sledgehammer and grenades.
Indeed, I was going to say that Viben's playing a very dangerous game, going for reading straight into Regicide's trap of taking that top down attack, and Regicide just wasting as much time as they can. A minute left on the clock, Viben on 2 players down, and it's a 5 versus 3. So far, not looking so good for them, as the site is all the way in the bottom at kitchen, and they still have not made a chance to clear that middle floor, well, roamers. So far it's not looking so good for Vibin. Maybe they just need to read into this and go straight down for site, because there's still 2 players playing above, and 3 versus 3 on site where you can really just pressure and then hold those defenders from coming back into site. It might have been a better play for them. But speaking of that, Divan gets 2 kills for himself. He gets Wasteful and Tierpil, and now all up to Kixie there in a 1 versus 4, I believe. And then Eerie just getting the final kill there for his team and bringing Regicide to a 5-1 split on their defense. So really, really well played there from Regicide. Very great defense coming out from them. Now, Vibin being on the defense side, hopefully it's better for them. Maybe their defense is a lot stronger than their attacks and they can bring themselves back in the game. But so far, it's looking very dire for Vibin. They have to really fix something if they want to get back into this matchup.
Indeed, not only Vibin had to deal with the roam game of a Regicide, but they also had to deal with a lot of utility, and that utility being a Mute, one of the strongest operators in the game. Their drone work was cut off completely every time they wanted to drone out a defender, because a Mute Jammer was in play in almost every single hallway. Not all of them, obviously. He only has 4 Mute Jammers. But their drone work was really cut off, and every time they had to deal with a Mute Jammer, or so there was a defender somewhere around in the midst to deal with the players. So Regicide is playing a really good game right now, but we've now switched over to the defense side of things on Vibin Esports, so maybe they have a lot of answers towards the attacks that they've been getting, because honestly they've been rather lackluster. So maybe they can answer back with a couple of defense rounds themselves. But not to say that Regicide doesn't have a plan for attack, Justin.
Yeah, but Regicide, obviously, now they're bringing Akali. So the first time seeing Akali in this matchup and a castle. So very interesting as well for actually the Goyo. We did not see a Goyo in Regicide's defense at all. So good adaptation there from Vibin. Maybe they reading into the more delaying Regicide in their attacks. Obviously Regicide have the soft destruction to really go against that castle, but nonetheless it's still going to be a lot of time wasting for Regicide's attacks. Vibin really reading into it, but a misplay there from Eli on Mystic's Selma charge there as he tried to open piano wall. So he is down 1 charge now for the round. So maybe that's not the best play. Maybe that might have put a lot of pressure on them, because them now having to get only 1 freezer wall open, freezer or bathroom or the trash wall, it's not looking so good on hard destruction wise. But obviously freezer being open with headite holes is really supporting Regicide in their execute into piano. But Vibin playing those holes is really also going to put pressure onto Regicide. So it's just a counter between the 2 teams at this point.
Yep. So for those of you who don't know, the Kali charge works both ways. It destroys the enemy's utility that is on the wall, but it also destroys whatever utility you put as an attacker. So be careful, or time it very properly, and good when you do use Kali and a hard breacher of sort. But Regicide does seem like they're putting a lot of pressure onto Vibin, but it kind of not the same, but in no sense it does feel like the same. It feels like the same vibe. Please don't roast me for that. But the only difference right now is that Ash is going to be working on those cocktail walls as the Ash, so he's going to be becoming a menace for Vibin in that side of things.
I just want to speak about Regicide here at the moment. Look at the utility wise. They don't have much destruction utility left. There's still Melusi charges placed in the map. There's still Evil Eye camps. And they don't have any throwables slash Ash charges, Sophia charges, and even Kylie devices left. Still in Evil Eye there, now they have to wait for it to open to get it. They do successfully get it as the plant is being attempted, but still not having that utility is maybe just a wasted play from them. But they do get the diffuser down as Minted adds 2 on the board, and Mystic getting 1 for himself as well. Now it's all up to Wicked and Kevin, sorry. The last 2, the fraggers remaining for Vibin Esports in a 2 versus 5. They do have time to get these picks, but in a 1 versus 5, as Kevin went down there, Mystic getting him and Kyle getting the final pick there on to Wicked. Really, really well played from him there in that round to really just execute with that Kali. Now bringing Regicide to match point, a 6-1 lead, looking really good for them. Hopefully Vibin can just change up something in their defense, maybe counter Regicide's just full out gaining map control. Well, they didn't get it pretty swiftly, but maybe just block them out for a little bit longer, holding those angles when it comes down to that execute, and maybe just putting a bit more pressure on them when they choose to attack into the site.
It did seem like it was a similar story in terms of how the defense has been going from Vibin and how the defense is going from Regicide. The only difference, though, was that Regicide decided to go below Cocktail and shake things up for the defenders there. So Vibin wasn't that comfortable holding from Cocktail as Regicide was. So that's for them to take note of how to pressure. It doesn't matter how much pressure, just a little bit of that pressure sometimes is enough to get an execute going. And that's exactly what happened. They managed to get an execute off, they managed to get a plant off, and it worked. They just had to hold after that. And now it was the defender's turn to sort of retake. And there, Regicide had enough players for them to hold off on the retake. So that was well played for them.
Indeed it was, but now Vibin going down to the kitchen service areas, and they're choosing to hold top down as well. So reading into that, maybe just trying to waste as much time as possible. They do have the castle and Frost, or actually mute Mozzie combo as well, to really just support, and that Legion. So a lot of delay operators, but Regicide not really reading into that. They're going straight for VIP control as there is late reinforcements coming out here, getting control of Small Bake, and now shots being fired onto Eerie. They're going for a rush into site. There's the first pick off for Regicide, getting a second. That's Wicked off of the board. Now 3 versus 5 as there's a trade. Tierpil getting Eerie, but Eli getting Kiever now, and the diffuser goes down, but it's all up to Wasteful and Tierpil now in a 2 versus 4 situation. The diffuser is down, and Nate does come swinging out there, so going to be able to delay, but a C4 comes swinging out there, and Tierpil gets picked off, and Wasteful gets a pick for himself, but Minted getting the final pick there and clutching out, or just finishing the round for Regicide, taking their attack aggressively. They saw Vibin holding top down defense and just having that flaw that there's not many players left on site, and their defense setup was very slow. So reading into that situation, really well done from Regicide there to take their first map in a 7-1 split.
Yep. We were talking about a 7-2s, 7-2s, and it's gone worse as it's a 7-1 scoreline for Regicide. Well played by them. And yeah, what a match that was. Very big difference between the two sides in terms of attack and defense. Vibin a little bit weak on the attack side of things. Their approach is strong. They get into the map, they get the map control that they kind of need, but partially because they end up stalling at some point in time and not being able to pressure the rest of the site and get an execute going. And Regicide read onto that, and they were sitting comfortably in the positions that they wanted to sit in. And Vibin didn't do anything about it. They didn't shake them off. They didn't do anything from below, above, flank, side, rotate, nothing of a sort. It was just a one-sided attack, and it didn't work out for them at the end. Regicide, however, just managed to play their game, and they played their game comfortably.
Regicide looking very promising at the moment. Their executes on Cafe were perfect on their attacks and reading into that situation. So their drone game was good. Their defense, just all out information game and holding out Vibin for as long as possible was good, because they didn't allow Vibin to really take things freely. They wasted time, they held areas, gave up on the area, and then let Vibin take it. But then Vibin being unsure of whether to push or not to push because of that information game, obviously playing Mozzie quite a lot and maybe a mute, it just puts pressure on the attackers not being able to really get that drone game in effectively. But for Vibin's attacks, it wasn't the best. They had the lineups that they needed and that they wanted that could have been promising, but just the executes, they really did have map control most of the times, but they didn't take it. They didn't take that first advantage to really just push into those areas and take control of it and put pressure on Regicide. So maybe for Concert, Vibin need to play a bit more aggressive, because their aggression levels at the moment are very down. They aren't playing as aggressive as they could, they're playing on that 20-second meta. And the 20-second meta doesn't always work in favor of the attackers, because in the end, it works out and it comes down to whether the team has the angles and whether they have the better gun skill in the 20-second meta, because it's just a full out guns blazing if you push into sight in those final seconds, and it's a 5 versus 5. So maybe Viben just need to work on their aggression for Consulate, as this is their final chance to take it to a map 3 and get a chance to win. So Viben have it all at the moment to lose, whereas Regicide a bit more safer that they had, that they won that first map. So for them, it's going to be a bit more chilled, but Viben really do need to fix their concert. For their sakes, I really hope that their concert is strong against Regicide and maybe just bring themselves back into this matchup. And then we see an even score and we take it to map 3, which then it's anybody's game.
Yeah, which map 3 will be Theme Park, I believe, and that will be another doozy of a match. But as the players are getting ready to get into the lobby, we want to talk about some of the rounds on defense from Regicide. Now, the reason I keep mentioning the pressure, I know I'm just beating into a dead horse right now, was because of the fact that Regicide was able to, at some point, drop off from the bar balcony and rotate all the way to wide stairs. Now, as an attacker, you shouldn't be allowing that to happen. The same thing happened over in another round where I think Regicide was in reading, or it was kitchen. A couple of players just rotated from the top floor to the bottom floor without even using hatches at all, rotating through stairs. So all I want to say is, as an attacker, you shouldn't be allowing that kind of thing to happen, especially in this level of play. You should be punishing players from going from top floor all the way to bottom floor just freely. You shouldn't be running around like that. But going over to the consulate side of things, I hope that Viben Esports has a plan for that, and they can take Regicide a run for their money this time, because if they don't, it's going to be really deadly for them.
Indeed, but Viben, Consulate obviously being a different map. So Consulate is very aggressive, I guess. It's not as aggressive as Coastline, obviously.
Windows!
But, yeah, window play in Consulate is everything, because if they ban that Nomad, whichever team decides to ban it, if they ban that Nomad, it's going to allow for runouts as well. Runouts on Consulate is by far the most aggressive thing that you can do, but it works most of the time. If you can find a safe place to run out and not get punished for it and get a pick or two on it, you have technically won the round for your team, because teams really can't come back from that if they're man down from a run out / spawn peak / just being able to play on those windows, everything like that. So Viben, I believe they're on the defense for Consulate, so them going to be able to use that. Hopefully Valkyrie is not banned for their sake, so they can use that aggressive cam play. But for Regicide, they have to ban that Valkyrie if they want to maybe play a bit safer. But for Viben, I think they can take Concert, because being a defender-sided map and heavily defender-sided, if they are able to push out Regicide's attacks and not allow them to get map control in the first 2 minutes, then it's going to look like a very good game to watch.
Yeah, I foresee a Valkyrie ban either from Regicide, if not from Viben. But damn, I shouldn't have said that, shouldn't have I? Because
Costa curse.
Yeah, you and I are the worst when it comes to these Costa curses. So no Valkyrie ban, no Valkyrie ban.
No Nomad ban as well.
Yeah, you guys can ban whatever you want. You can ban a castle if you want to. It's okay.
It's fine. We're not casting you guys. We're not cursing you guys now. Also, speaking off of topic, if you guys are new, please like and subscribe. We are on the road to 1,000 subscribers. I believe we are just short of 500 subscribers. So if you guys can help us get that before the end of tonight, we'd really appreciate that, and we appreciate each and one of you guys and your support to us. Also, there is a giveaway going on the Twitter page, the World League ESP. That's World League ESP on Twitter. You guys go comment who you think is going to win the finals, and then you guys will stand a chance to get entered into a giveaway if you guess correctly. you have a chance to win a mousepad or a t-shirt, which in my opinion are very good looking products.
Oh yes, indeed. Me loving the T-shirt as well. Keep telling production that give me a T-shirt.
Me
I
too,
just want a
please.
T-shirt. Just want a T-shirt somehow. But yeah. So as the players are getting ready, you guys are gonna have to deal with us a bit longer because there's somebody taking a bit of a while. You can blame whoever it is. We shall reveal who it is because we will shun him.
I
Somebody is
don't
AFK. Nobody likes an AFK player. But yeah, what are we expecting from Consulate, Justin? Especially from Vibe and Esports, seeing as they have a lot to play for this time. As you said, they need to turn the aggression up a bit more. But Regicide isn't going to go down without a fight. As we've seen with that rush play, their aggression is there.
Indeed. So for concert, I believe Vibant can really bring something out if they get those first 2-3 rounds, because it works like that. That if a team gets the opening pick, they'll win the round, or if a team gets, let's say, the first round of a map, it's always like, okay, there's pressure on the other team to really now perform. And if you carry on putting pressure on them, you get 1, 2, 3 rounds in a row. It just puts pressure on the other team's mindset. Obviously, some teams are able to adapt to that mindset and come back from it, but not all teams have that proper, like just all out, I guess, confidence. Sometimes it gets damaged by the way that they play. So if Vibin can really just put pressure on Regicide's attack from the very beginning and just start winning some rounds and playing perfectly from the very start, do what they're supposed to, play a bit more aggressive, then I believe they can take it to map 3 and take Consulate. Scoreline wise, I personally think that it's going to be more defender sided. So if we see a 5-1, 4-2 split once again, it wouldn't be or be uncommon, sorry. But for the Regicide's attack, I've not seen them play on Consulate. Same goes for Vibe and Esports. And we remember a lot of games that we've casted before, especially Meraki, William, when on Consulate, their attacks were just perfect. They got garage control in the first 30 seconds, and then they put pressure on the defenders completely. So if Regicide have somewhat of attack like that, same goes for Vibe and Esports, then it's going to be, well, a very interesting and anybody's game at that point.
Yeah, I do remember those matches. Those attacks were swift, but it's now a different game right now, different teams, and yeah, getting the first round, not the first round, but ban phases on the way. I am not going to be predicting any bans at all because, as you've seen, Justin and I are terrible at this. Every time we tell teams to ban a certain operator, they ban that operator. But oh, so we're just gonna let the bans continue as they should be.
Well, we can speak really about the map. Thatcher being the most common ban there. We spoke about it. Now it's coming back once again. But Thatcher not really getting any play at all. I don't think we've casted one game that has had Thatcher in play. So teams not giving him any play at whatsoever, and he can be very impactful, especially for the attack. Getting that garage wall just open in the first 30 seconds with that Thatcher, it is everybody's game. And now Nomad being the second ban there, first ban for Regicide. So the curse is coming back now. We didn't want it to happen, but it's happening. The Nomad being banned, that's going to allow Vibe and Esports to play very aggressively on their defense and have those runouts. Hopefully Regicide do play a gridlock in addition to that if it does happen. But on Maestro, that's a weird ban for Regicide, their pick. Not very common. I haven't seen a lot of Maestro bans on Consulate. Obviously being very impactful, especially down below in that garage area and on top, or the top site where you can just put pressure on that plant defuse. And there's the Valkyrie off of the board. There goes the runouts. That's just, now it's just going to be blind, just full out risky runouts from both teams in their defense.
Yep. Obviously, the Pulse being on the board, so he's available, but you're giving up a lot of utility when you do bring a Pulse. And For Regicide, getting rid of Maestro is a very good pick, in my opinion, because those cameras are deadly in Consulate. And you can put them in places where they sometimes are going to be protected by ADSs or WMI. And seeing that there's both of them available this time around, it's going to be pretty hard to deal with any kind of utility in this match. So the first round going over to, it seems like it's split. Or am I wrong?
I believe
could
you're
be
correct.
wrong.
You're
It is
correct.
split. Yeah. Oh wow. First round being split, and it seems like a top floor hold as well up in admin. And I wonder if it's going to be a garage hold as well. No, Castle's going to be castling garage off, and this is going to be interesting as heck to see because it seems like Vibin has given Regicide a full access to garage, and that is going to be dangerous.
Vibin's strats are really good in my opinion. I've seen the strats that they play, and they are playing in a different playstyle than most SA teams do play. So them going first site split is very interesting in my opinion. I have not seen a lot of Consulate gameplay. Obviously the last time I saw it was quite a long time ago, and it was very aggressive in my mind. Not a lot of teams went to that split site. So now them playing the split site, it's going to be very interesting to see if they can get the first round and put pressure on the attackers and then bring themselves to the lead. But it does look like Regicide are prepared and know how to counter this top-down hold for the split sides. As we say that, Wasteful getting droned out there and trying to run away, but blindly has minted there on Repel, gets the first pick, bringing his team to that advantage with only 2 minutes left on the clock. So that's a very good pick from him. Very swift execute from these attackers on this top floor. Now trying to get these angles and trying to put pressure on the defense. It's going to be a very interesting one to see how Vibin are going to be able to hold this one out.
That's true, and KWR on that vigil is going to have a tough time because a Jackal on the Irie is going to be searching for him pretty soon. So he better hope he didn't step wherever the Jackal is going to be. But Devon eliminating the appeal off the board. That is the castle, but some castle doors are still up at least, but they will be dealt with momentarily. Somebody is coming up spiral stairs. It seemed like Devon knew about it. Minted getting a shot onto Wicked, and I mean onto KWR and Irie eliminating Wicked, but Kixie gets a pick of his own, but Minted ends it for the defenders and gets another round, or a first round for Regicide. What a beginning.
Indeed, what a beginning for Regicide. Obviously, them having the map advantage, now coming to Consulate on their attacks, just really performing, getting that first initial pick in 2 minutes within the time. So not wasting any time on that, and then just having full top floor control to put pressure on those defenders and send them all the way to the bottom, where they just executed and came down those stairs, held the angles so that they couldn't rotate back up, and just put so much pressure through vertical holes. So good execute there from Regicide. For Vibin, however, that was a bit shaky from their half. I believe they could have played it a lot better. They could have played a bit more together. Maybe if they didn't die in that first 2 minutes, if they wasted a lot more time and were able to stay alive and get a pick for themselves. Because as we've said many times, and I believe most of the casters throughout this weekend have said it, that if you get that first pick in the round, then it is most likely that you will end up winning that round. And we've seen it happen most of the time. So if Vibin can get those first picks and then put pressure on Regicide, then I believe they can come back from that, as they do now have a different defense. They are going to that theater, I believe it is console office site. So them playing that, hopefully it's a much better attack from them. It does look like they're bringing that castle mute combo once again. So going to be putting a lot of pressure on the attackers for utility wise. It's looking good for them, but now it's up to them to win those gunfights and put pressure on Regicide's just overall swift attacks.
Yep. And Vibing going to a meeting and office, and we'll see what Regicide has to offer in terms of taking at that site. They are bringing an ace for this. I wonder if they thought it was going to be garage, but most likely not. But they do have the operators to take this site. So we'll see what Mystic, Devon, Minted, Ari, and Alec, just Kyle backwards, going to be doing for this side. It does look like it's a half admin and half office take, with the Ash just sprinting in and already on the door of meeting. Shield facing her. She's going to deal with that momentarily. No ADSs, but there is a Wamai in place. So that's going to be dealing with it. But she does have 3 charges, using her second one to eliminate that shield. Now they do have control, or somewhat, of a long desk, Sophia and the Ash, in support of each other right there. So looks like Vibin is holding off for a while, but it's not going to be for a long time at all, because this pressure is going to get heavy momentarily.
Indeed, now Wasteful losing quite a lot of HP, left on just below 50 HP, and now he's finished off that very airy, getting the first pick there, and Eli adding onto the scoreboard, picking off Kixie. That's the SMG-11 shotgun boys off of the board, the SAS and Wicked getting 2 picks for himself. That's Devon and Minted off of the board, now bringing it back to a 3 versus 3 with a minute 20 left on the clock. Now it is anybody's game. It's, well, in favor of the attackers, because they do have control of this theater site. They are going to try and attempt this plot, but will these defenders be able to hold them out? It does look like there will be pressure, but there's Mystic getting the pick onto Wicked. Now 2 versus 3. It's all up to Kevin and Tearpil to hold out this area and just put pressure on them, but Kyle does decide to rotate down. He will try and go and put pressure on Spiral Stairs again. The angles are being washed as the diffuser is planted. A 2 versus 3. 30 seconds left on the, or 35 seconds left on the clock, and Kyle getting a second pick for himself, getting Tearpil off of the board. It's all up to Kevin. He has the carbine there to support him, and Mystic swinging into his crosshair, but he didn't react to that, and then Mystic coming up on top there, getting a beautiful shot onto him. Look at that, a 1-tap for him in that round, finishing it off and bringing Regicide to a 2-0 lead on their attacks on Consulate.
Regicide's attacks are pretty intense, and Vibin is struggling to get a hold onto Regicide at the moment. I felt like Vibin was going to take it at some point, because they were holding on pretty strong, but Regicide managed to rotate and shuffle things around and come back from that. So the adaptation towards a round in the middle of the round and mid-round adaptation is really good, and that's something that Vibin has to pick up on and really adjust to, because this may bite them in a later stage, because this is on defense and you've already lost 2 rounds on defense. You need to win the rest of the rounds in order to soften your blow when you are the one attacking.
Indeed, defense obviously being the side of the map. It is a defender-sided map, so maybe it could change, because I've seen quite a lot of gameplay from the attackers being more, attacker-sided, but I can't really say analytical-wise or stats-wise. I do not have the proper stats for it, but so far, attack is looking like the better play for Regicide, and obviously on Consulate, it is being the better play for most teams. So I could be wrong on that, but so far, Vibin's defense not being the best, obviously, but we do see, Kixie trying to go for that angle through the drone hole. Hopefully he spots out a player there, but it doesn't look like anybody will go into his crosshairs, as they are choosing to go to the other side of the map, and that's the first pick off for the board once again from Mystic, getting Kiever. That's your Jaeger off of the board. Kiever having a very bad game at the moment, just not being able to do much. He's getting pressured and getting picked off straight at the beginning, and just, for his team, obviously for both Vibin as a whole, if you get picked off at the very beginning of the round each and every time, it is very dire for you to really just try and make something happen of that defense. So for Regicide, however, this aggression's working perfectly for them, and they just all-out utility usage from below is just perfect. There's a second pick for them. Now it's a 3 versus 5. So Regicide really looking strong at the moment.
And the Kixie getting a pick of his own onto Devon, and now it is a 3v4 in favor of Regicide, but Tearpil has a counter for that to equalize the man count with a shot onto Mystic. It's a 3v3 right now. 1 minute 40 seconds left. Regicide is making good time on this. They have the Sledge, the Jackal, and Minted on the Zofia. They do have the operators to pull this off, and they have control over connector, as Eli wasteful right now, and they now have control over site. Kixie, the only one left with the SMG-11 in hand, does hit a couple of shots onto the Zofia or the sledge, but doesn't down him at all. But the diffuser's going down, and Kixie has to find 3 players, the Jackal being on 5 health and the others almost on full. This is a very tall feat for him. Does spot one of the players with a 6 shot onto his head, and that is it, leaving the 2 players left. V Kixie has to do something. He only has 28 seconds left. Will he be able to find the first one who is in a long desk? But he has to find the other one too. Time is trickling down, mister. And he does turn onto the one in long desk. He has to pre-fire. The shots does come to him, but he has to fire back. Switches to the SMG-11, but doesn't work. Minted finishing him off. And that's another round for Regicide. This is looking bad for Vibin right now.
Indeed it is, but very questionable plays there. Obviously, Kixie, I wonder why he used the SMG-11 there on the yellow stairs. He had his primary MP5 in hand. He could have maybe just hit a bit more shot. Yeah, he did. He had the 1.5 sight on it, so holding that angle would have been a lot better. Maybe it was just a moment of time that he couldn't really use the SMG or the MP5, sorry, and he had the SMG-11 in hand, so he couldn't really swap because of maybe he feared that they were going to peek him. Timing wise in Siege is terrible, so it could have happened, but it was just very interesting in my mind because I believe he could have got that first pick a lot sooner and not just putting him low on HP, and then it would have been a lot easier for him to push up yellow stairs initially and then put pressure while they were trying to get that defuse down. But there from Minted, really well played from him, using the shield against Vibin Esports. So the shield was placed for Vibin to use it against Regicide, and him using it there as cover for his own to hold the angles. It's just, you know, in the end it's like, okay, it works, but then it doesn't work at the same time. So therefore Regicide, well played to use that. Also for Vibin, I hope they do decide they are going back to, or they're going down to Garage. Maybe this is a better side for them and bring themselves into a better game if they get these next 3 rounds. But so far it's looking very, very scary for them, and well, Regicide are playing a very good game at the moment.
Regicide is running away with this right now, and Vibin have to answer back. And right now, the answer for them is going to Garage with a roam game all the way up top in the office. And now we'll see what Elike and team are going to have for this attack. Seems like they do know about a couple of players who are up on top, but Wicked with a lead-off pick onto Minted. This is good news for Vibin as one of the players from Regicide is eliminated, but Devon has an answer for that with a shot onto Wicked to eliminate the roamer. She was trapped in the office there, so she had nowhere to go with the Jackal to her left, and as we saw somebody else to his right eliminating him. The Jackal is doing good work from Regicide right now, as they're finding a lot of these, well, not a lot, they only found 1 roamer, but he's going to be helpful in finding more of them roaming around. What a shot. He didn't even know what hit him. And it is a teammate at that. That is very dangerous from him. You don't want to be doing that, my friend.
I'm not sure what was the cause for that. I don't know if maybe Eri had a problem or something that he got team killed, or if it was just a pre-fire from Kyle there. But that is going to be very dire for them if it comes back to bite them in the back there, as now Vibin do have the lead once again in a 4 versus 3, and them not being able to open up that breach. Mystic, they're struggling a bit because there's the mute jammers, but they do have top floor control there, and now both Ash charges getting taken there from the ADSs, not being able to get that Melusi charge. So far for Regicide's bottom attack is not looking so good, but Devon answers back and gets Kevin off of the board and evens out the scoreline to a 3 versus 3, but there's a minute left on the clock and there's still a Melusi charge on that yellow stairs. That's going to be putting pressure on them as they try to take that yellow floor or execute. They are still getting that vertical control. They still do have 50 seconds left on the clock to put pressure on these defenders, but the HP is not in favor of Regicide at all, as Tierpil now also taking a lot of HP, but 2 players swinging him from cafeteria. That's Kyle off of the board there, wasteful getting the pick, now swinging out those smoke canisters to put pressure on that yellow floor or yellow stairs execute. Devon still holding this top floor angles, and Mystic trying to make a push onto these stairs, but he has quite a lot of pressure to deal from this cafeteria area. 20 seconds left on the clock. We do see a drop from the hatch, and Divan gets 2 picks. Actually not, he gets 1 and Wasteful gets 1, and there's Kixie to get the final pick there onto Mystic, bringing Vibin Esports their very first round in this round. What an angle there from Kixie, just watching as Mystic pushes down those yellow stairs. Really well played there from Vibin Esports to get that initial pick. I think it is true that if you get that first pick in the round, you do win the round. So Vibin Esports, well done there on you guys to bring your very first round. Now let's hope you can carry on pushing through and we see a very close game on Consulate.
Vibin has woken up. Not that they were that much asleep, though. They just needed that kick to get the first round in, and hopefully they'll be riding off this momentum as they bring the pulse in, and that is scary business when you have a pulse in your team because, the other team doesn't expect those C4s. Even though they do know there's a pulse, it's just a terrible situation for them. So we'll see what Vibin is going to be bringing as they go down to a lobby and piano room. They've managed to hold off Garage, so looking very exciting and excited for them. So we'll see what the hold is now. Maybe that top floor hold could use a little bit of work. They managed to get a pick off it, but it didn't last very long as they got refragged. So maybe they're going to be focusing a little more on that, maybe to capitalize on some of the roaming up top.
Indeed. Can I speak about that previous round there on Garage? Obviously, Vibin, they didn't win their top. They went top floor twice, and they went the split side once, and they lost all of it. Now going down to the Garage, maybe it should have been an earlier call from them to go there instead of retrying the top floor. Maybe that was a better choice because that was an excellent defense from them, and just those Melusi charges from Vibin Esports. All 3 were positioned for that yellow stairs and Garage pushing. So good from them to read onto them trying to push into the Garage area. But if Regicide read back into that and adapt and go from behind site, from cafeteria side and from archives, then it's going to be a much different round when Vibin do choose to go back downstairs. If they are able to, I believe they can go the last round. But speaking of this round, it does look like they are going to try and put pressure from all different angles. They did have somebody playing down in the bottom floor and in the top floor as well. But now Wicked taking a lot of damage there. Now left to 50 HP and this Airy on Jackal, dude. It's just that's putting so much pressure on Vibin because he's giving so much information to his team on where those players are positioned and where they have been.
Especially for the fact that a pulse is very intel driven, and for him to be found out and for the other team to know exactly where you are is making it very uncomfortable for Kixie to even pull out his scanner. So he's going to have a hard time there. And Mystic, however, has a couple of angles onto round desk, but not finding anybody and not finding anything conclusive just yet. The caster, but Minted somehow finds somebody that's on TPL and gets another pick by Airy onto Kixie. That's 2 players off the board in a span of 3 seconds. And now they have reached onto Bathroom. This is very dangerous for whoever's playing in Bathroom. But Wicked put another man down in the ground, and Minted and Alec continue with the man count killing, which leaves KWR on his own with a pick onto Airy.
Now in a 1 versus 3, 50 seconds left on the clock, but the diffuser is being attempted and the ping's coming out there, but pre-firing into the wrong area as he has moved. Now in a 1 versus 3, he has to do it all. The time is ticking down now as the diffuser is planted. So 35 seconds left on the clock. These angles being held from Regicide, just waiting for him to push down. I wonder where he'll be able to really just try and make this play. All the angles are being watched. So him deciding now to push down the spiral stairs, hopefully he'll be able to find one for himself. He is getting pre-fired there from Eli holding that angle, but there's a counter angle there in Zulu by the benches as Minted was holding that and getting the final pick there for his team, bringing his team to a 4-1 lead on their attacks. Really well played and great execute from Regicide onto that lobby defense.
That is a great execute indeed, Justin. And Vibin is really struggling. I thought they were going to get a couple of more rounds on the board leading off from that cafeteria and garage hold, but Regicide has stopped them dead in their tracks as they're forced to now go to console office and meeting room. They need to answer back really soon, or they're gonna have a very troubling time when they're attacking right now. So either change sites, I don't know, change defenders, change operators, do something to answer back. This is the map that you need to answer back and win, because
Attackers need to locate
if you
and
lose this
defuse the
map,
bomb.
it's over. So Vibin has to come up with something right now. Regicide, they're just flying through this. One round they lost, doesn't seem like anything to them. Chuck it back behind them, shrug it off, and move on to the next round, and they're gone to winning that round. So it doesn't seem like they are phased at all.
Indeed, because Regicide did win the first map. If you guys are only tuning in now, this is the second matchup or the second map in this best of 3 matchup. Regicide did take the very first round on very first game on Cafe, sorry, a 7-1 victory for them. So really well played to them, but now they can play a lot safer on Constant, and it doesn't look like they need to play safer at all because they are just playing a lot better. Vibin, however, are very struggling at the moment. I'm not sure what is wrong, but they're just not adapting to Regicide's playstyle. They're not playing aggressive enough like they should be. And speaking of aggression, Regicide get the first pick once again. So Kixie off of the board now, that's your mute. So the C4 is gone off of the board, the only C4 being played for the defense. So it's not going to be able to pick off any picks. And well, Tierpio also losing quite a bit of HP there. Not too much, but he's getting peeked here from Divan on these Visa stairs. So Regicide just peeking into these areas very aggressively and taking map control because Vibin is letting them do that. They are giving it up before it is even taken. So Mystic getting a second or a first pick there from him, well done, and that's wasteful off of the board. And now Airy getting one for himself, that's Kiever off, and Divan getting some shots there onto Tierpio, but getting picked off there by Tierpio, winning out the gunfight. Now the plant is being attempted there, a 2 versus 4 for Vibin. Speaking of that, Kyle gets 2 picks, and that's it over for them on their defense. Good split for Regicide, taking once again a 5-1 split on their defense. So Vibin at the moment not looking the best. They really have a lot to work on their attacks if they want to bring it into overtime, or not really overtime, but just take it to an even 5-5 score. They have the potential to do it, but they need to play together. They need that refrag potential, and they need to keep map control for as long as possible. Thank you, William, for correcting me there. And speaking of their attacks, they just need to now gain map control for as quickly as possible and not allow Regicide to really push them off and waste their time, because at the moment they have it all to lose. They really have to win every single round from here on out. They don't want Regicide to get that match point, because then it is really just looking like a terrible matchup for them and they won't be able to really come back. It is very hard to come back from a 6-1. They really are 5-1. 5-1, if you get 2-3 rounds, then you can maybe still push it. But if they take it to match point now, Regicide, then it is looking very dire for Vibin Esports.
And we now off on from the split. As Justin said, 5-1 split, not looking good for Vibin, but they are now on attack, which is also could be seen as a very dangerous situation. They pretty much have to win almost every single round right now. They only have a cushion of 1 round, which means that if Regicide wins that round, then it will go on to match point. So looking very dangerous for Vibin Esports, but they do have the operators and they do have the players to pull this off. And will they be able to? Right now, Wicked is going to be met by a flurry of bullets and none of them connecting. Only a couple actually connecting. And he's going to be firing back right now, getting angsty right now. He seems very angry. He needs to get this kill before he runs away. But Eli with a disgusting shot onto Wicked, eliminating him off the board. That is the Zofia out. That's very dangerous. That's a very good operator to get a pick off onto. And now leaving a Vibin with a 4v5 man count.
4v5 with 2 minutes left on the clock. And speaking of that, there's a 3 versus 5 as Kyle gets a second kill for himself in that round, just making works on that roam with that Mozzie. But Kixie answering back, getting the first pick for himself. That's Divan off of the board. The Jaeger trying to rotate up that Visa stairs. Now it's all up to Kyle on the roam to waste as much time and maybe get a pick for himself. But Kixie has to answer back. He did answer back, but he has to get another one if he wants to even out the scoreline. We do see now Tierpil playing that gridlock, so being able to really stop those aggressive pushes up the stairs, really going to support Viben now. But Kixie's going to be met by this player on yellow stairs. Will he come up on top in this gunfight? He is on much lower HP than the Mozzie, but he's just sitting at a standstill right now as Mozzie's being able to retreat freely. And will Viben be able to hold these angles? We do see now them opening up this vertical to try and push it out, but that's not where the site is. So their time management once again very low. And speaking of that, Kixie winning out the gunfight onto the Mozzie, a beautiful shot with the SMG-11. Now he does have control of that middle floor piano to try and put pressure onto the site, and Nate does come swinging out. He's trying to get that wall denial off of the wall. He does get that K charge to support his team, so Wasteful can try and open at that wall. Still doing that vertical control, gonna put pressure on these defenders, but it is a 3 versus 3 and they have 40 seconds left on the clock to try and do something.
An execute has to come by right now, but Eri doesn't want it to happen as he gets a pick onto Kixie, who has done a lot this round to set this up right now, leaving Wasteful and Tierpil to finish off the job. They are capable of doing this. They do have the traps on yellow stairs to cut the rotation back on, or any kind of flank, which Malusi's going to be there playing dangerously aggressive at that, and it is going to work out for them because right now there's only Wasteful left who has to challenge all of this by himself. He's not going to be able to be doing anything right now as Minted cuts things off and players ask for a timeout, a much needed timeout at that, because a Regicide is flying away with this match right now.
Indeed, but Viben calling that timeout, it's quite the late response from them. I believe if they took it maybe the 4th round, when they saw that, okay, we're not doing the best at the moment on our defense, we need that tactical timeout, maybe just to get our coach in, to give them a bit of words and what they need to change up in their defenses, leaving it to match point to do it. It's scary, a choice from them, because it is all up to the next 5 rounds for them. They have to take it to overtime to try and win this matchup, win out this map to take it to a 3rd map. So them calling it now, hopefully it is beneficial for them, but in my opinion, it's still very late for them to call. I believe it could have been a much earlier call for them, but still, hopefully this will really support them, because their attacks at the moment not looking the best. They're not playing together. They do have the operator lineup to support them. They have that flanker now. They have the operators to really support in that execute, but they're getting picked off too early. They're getting picked off way too early, and those roamers are just making a menace of their job. They're just putting so much pressure on the attackers at the moment.
Yeah, you were right in saying that, Justin. Viben has the puzzle pieces. They have capable operators and they have capable players. These players are good players. It's very confusing to see them. They're kind of playing the exact same way as they were playing in Cafe. They get into positions and then they stall out. Kind of, I don't know, inadvertently asking the defenders to peek them. They kind of just waiting in places and saying, this is where you guys peek us. But no, that's not the case. Like, you need to make the move. You're the attacker. And they're not playing that same way in defense as well. In defense, they are a lot more passive, a bit too passive for my liking. And possibly it didn't work out for them at all on defense, because their passiveness allowed Regicide to be even more aggressive and just take whatever map real estate they wanted to. So Viben has the puzzle pieces. They're just not capitalizing on every single one of those. It's going to be dangerous for them, because now they have to win 5 rounds in a row, which is a really tall feat to ask for, if you ask me.
Indeed, I do agree with you completely. Actually, with the attacks, it does look like Cafe where they are stalling out. They need that information game. That drone game is not really on point at the moment. They're not able to really put pressure on those defenders. So them just really being pressured on that roam from the defense on Regis side, just making works of that roam and just putting as much pressure as they need, because that's your job as a defender, to put pressure onto those onto those attackers and just waste as much time as possible. And Vibin are walking straight into Regicide's trap. Regicide are playing their defense perfectly, and Vibin really need to play together, maybe get a bit more of a structured drone game coming through, and maybe just playing a bit more aggressively on their attacks, maybe just trying to take map control as quick as possible and putting pressure on the unaware defenders of that aggression, because Regicide are not aware of Vibin's aggression at this point. Vibin are playing very passively, so if they can maybe just up that aggression once again, like we've been speaking about, then it might be just what they need to bring this to an overtime scoreline. But so far, Regicide really do look strong in taking this matchup.
Yep, this is the final round, seemingly for Vibin Esports and Regicide. And for Vibin Esports, this could be a beginning of a comeback. So, let's not count them out just yet. Let's cheer them on. If you're supporting Vibin Esports, is it going to be a comeback? And if it is, let that be an epic one, because they have 5 of those to do in a row. The map site is console office and meeting, and right now TPL and a team are going to be taking admin, which they are going to be contested by somebody. It seems like it is Devon, or it might be Devon, or it might be the Ella. I'm not 100% sure. It is Devon. And Mystic in pro around Longde's side of things, and not a good start at all, as Wicked is taken off the board and Kixie. That's all I have to say about that. F in chat. And that is not looking good for Wasteful, KWR, and TPL, as they have to clean up the mess that has been created by Kixie and Wicked. With a couple of misplays, it happens. But it's just the timing of it that it is happening in is not a very good one. You have to be 100% careful, especially in these kind of rounds, because this is make or break.
This is match point indeed. So having those 2 missed plays there from Wicked and Kixie not being the best for Vibin at the moment, but hopefully Kevin and Tierpil, and actually Wasteful as well, hopefully they can bring something out of this round and find the 5 players of Regicide. But no, they won't, as Eerie gets the first pick for him. That's Kevin off of the board now. It's all up to Wasteful and Tierpil to make this round theirs. Wasteful getting the first pick there onto Mystic. That's the Malusi on the roam. They're now getting control of yellow stairs there. Tierpil adding one as well. Really good start for them, getting Devon off of the board as 2 versus 3 at the moment, but Minted is low on HP, so they can do this. They just have to get that information. They need to find that angles. They do have a minute to work with, so hopefully they can just play together here and get these picks. But no, they won't be able to, as Minted is playing on yellow stairs, unaware of his location. Wasteful gets picked off there, and now it's all up to Tierpil in a 1 versus 3. He has to find 3 of these players. He does spot out the player, but the impact grenade comes swinging through and does some damage to him, but he comes up on top of that, well, that gunfight, picking off Minted eventually. Now in a 1 versus 2, he's going to try and rotate down these yellow stairs, but they have retaken yellow stairs. This is Regicide's game at the moment. They have control of these stairs. Hopefully Tierpil will be able to get control of it if he wants to try and make a push into site. He does not have diffuser as it is dropped on the stairs, but he's being contested by the player prone on the floor. Eerie with the Ella shotgun in the barbed wire. Tierpil not being able to spot him out there. Well played from Regicide there to take the matchup and take this map a 7-1 victory for them. They played exceptionally well in this game and played exceptional game of Siege. Really, really well played from them. As for Vibin, just work on that aggression on your attacks and maybe just positioning on the defense, and I'm sure you guys will be able to make it back as you guys now do go to that lower bracket. So they do have a second chance to come back. And well, for Regicide, they do now face against, I believe it is OG tomorrow. I might be mistaken. Sorry, my mistake there. I just got information from production that it is OG versus 80K tomorrow morning at 12 p.m. and Regicide versus Runshock White at 3 p.m. So those 2 interesting games from there. But William, what do you think of that game? Obviously, Regicide just playing their game, playing an exceptional game of Siege, but for Vibe and Esports, it looked very dire from them. So I don't know what your thoughts on that matchup, but for me, I thought that was a very good game for both teams.
It was a good game. Not so much from a vibe, and something was off. I was gonna do the classical pun, but I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna do it. But yeah, no, it's the most of their attacks were really not up to par. Especially looking at Regicide's attack, they were very solid. They knew what they had to take. They knew what they needed to take, and everybody knew what they needed to do. Everybody had a job and they did it to their fullest potential. Vibin has a tendency to stall out at some point, to wait for things to happen for them. And that's not going to work out well for you at the end. Or most teams are not going to give you the chance a day to do that. So that's what they need to work on. And it didn't work against Regicide. It might work against other teams, but it didn't work against Regicide at all. You can't wait for other players to make a mistake or to come into your crosshairs, especially when you're on defense. When you're on defense, they're going to wait for you. So you're doing what they're doing on defense, which is what you should be doing on defense too, but on attack. But yeah, and their defense as well. Also, the positioning was a bit off in some places. Their rotate capability was cut off extremely hard, so they couldn't rotate pretty much. And yeah, at the end, it was their downfall. And as for Regicide, however, they brought their A game today, and you could see it. They cut everything off from Vibin and an attack. They just took what they wanted and executed what they needed to execute.
Indeed, Regicide played exceptionally well there. They knew what they had to do, like you said, and they just did it perfectly well. They wasted time on their defense and they didn't waste time on their attack. They took map control for as quickly as they possibly could, and they just put pressure on those defenses on both maps for Vibin's defenses on both Cafe and on their consulate defense. So for Vibin, it was a very difficult situation, obviously playing against Regicide, which I believe had exceptionally good attacks. Maybe they are attacker-sided team, maybe they're defender-sided team. I'm not quite sure on the analytics of that and the statistics of it, but for both their sides, they did play their perfect game. They played how they should. They played their own game. They didn't worry about what they were going up against. They didn't let it fear them. But as for Vibin, it looked like they had a bit of uncertainty in their attacks. If they should I peek, should I push, or what should I do? I have the map control, but then there was hesitation to take it further and put pressure. So time management as well was not really on point for Vibin. But as for Regicide, a well-deserved victory for them. They did play exceptionally well, and I think they deserve their spot to go through. As for Vibin, they do still have that second chance to fight off in the lower brackets, and maybe we see them again later on in the stages. As for now, I believe that Regicide do have what it takes to take it to the grand finals, but they still do have a lot to go through. So at the moment, both teams actually have quite the step to take if they want to try and get a spot at that grand finals.
True indeed. And for that, we are going to stop blasting into your ears with all of our talks, because I know we talk too much. And that brings us to a close for today. Hope you guys enjoyed the matches and our casting and everybody else's casting, the likes of Olympus, Sunset, King Luther, and Kanye Diffuse. And from World League Esports, this is the WLE 10K. And hope you guys had a great time watching good content and good Siege. And we'll see you guys tomorrow, I believe, starting from 12 o'clock. That will be the kickoff for the matches. And we'll see you there. My name is William with my friend right here. His name is Justin. And we'll see you guys tomorrow. Ciao.
Cheers.